Lost Levels as an individual game probably wins this race, but Mario 2 US might throw something at us.
It is also important to note that I believe Big John has had the most experience on All-Stars on its own. Darwin Lack have been going hard with SMB1 on the NES console. Not that Big John hasn't, but Big John always has been working on All-Stars for a very long time. He knows the way in which the controls work on this, and while at a glance some of those controls and physics may look the same, kind of varies on the All-Stars card if you're used to playing on the NES card. Also, there is the fact that the controls are just ever so different feeling between the NES and SNES controllers.
Just a little bit, and of course while we were talking, I'm sure everybody noticed the race is actually underway.
Alright, here we go.
And it's worth noting, everybody, you're talking about the differences between SNES and NES. You can see Lack and Darb already picking up fire. Big John has shroomed up as well. I'm assuming here we're going with the fire strats the whole way through just because pipe jumps, which work really well to get past piranha plants on the NES version, don't work quite as well on All-Stars. Big John going the top route. Nice.
I'm glad you covered that, Mr. Cav. And again, to reiterate, the hitboxes on the piranha plants dramatically different between the All-Stars and the NES versions of this. You can get away with a lot on the NES versions, whereas All-Stars, you're going to get hit every time if you don't carry that fire into that.
Yeah, I think one of the most common comments Darbian will get on his NES Mario 1 runs is, hey, why are you cheating with these piranha plants? What are you doing? It's not that he's cheating, it's just the hitbox is that bad on them. And of course, for the SNES version, it's basically fixed. So you have to come up with alternate strats, and for the most part, that means, you know what, just kill it with fire. Lack and Darb basically neck and neck. Big John not too far behind. I want to see how much he catches up in Lost Levels if he keeps drifting backwards. Maybe this is the game. Whereas for the others, I was saying Lost Levels might be a determining factor. Maybe for Big John, it's Mario 1.
I think Big John still has very much a chance of catching up. Remember, when you're trying to race this during a marathon, all bets are off in terms of consistency at times. I know that when Oth and I did our Evo race last night, it's so easy to make a mistake in a marathon run that is uncharacteristic. So do not count any of these runners out during any portion of this race.
So 2-1, I would say, is actually one of the harder levels to speedrun in this game. There's just a lot of pipes, a lot of barriers in your way. You can see Darbian actually shooting these fireballs nearly at the last minute a lot. They have a lot of practice doing that. Big John's just taking the star and just going to charge through everything, which is never a bad option. Keeping fire through the water, though, that's going to be the challenge.
I'm all for the stir option because you have to spend so much time gathering those power-ups back should you lose it. So I approve of that strategy here in the race.
2-1 is just a really awkward level. Not as awkward as 2-2, but really all the water levels are going to be fun, interesting. The nice thing about the original Mario Brothers for underwater is the bloopers the first blooper on the screen tends to swim away from Mario if you're looking at it. So you can usually manipulate it a little bit. It's when you start getting multiple bloopers and multiple cheap cheeps on the screen that things start to really get hairy.
Alright, Lack and Darb already out of 2-2. Big John very close behind.
Yeah. Okay, Big John got that last fish. That's good. Shooting things underwater tends to be one of the things that causes me to lose fire a lot. I end up focusing too much on landing the shot and not enough on just swimming through the level.
Would you say, Mr. Cav, that in these flying cheap levels that the hitboxes do seem to be unfair?
I haven't had that experience in Mario 1. Mario 3 is going to be a different story. But at least here, the strategy tends to be just go. There's one or two really tight jumps that especially Big Mario might have a problem with. But 2-3, and its estranged cousin 7-3 should just be just go. Nice elevator jump from Darb. There it is from Lack as well. It's one of the really tight jumps early in the run here, and you have to duck, which makes that oh so much harder.
And both keep fire through World 2-4. Well done.
And you want to keep fire, not just because of all these piranha plant strats that we've been talking about. And you want to get the fire kills on Bowser as well. Ooh. Because if you don't get the fire kill, you have to sit there, watch the bridge collapse, watch Bowser fall in. I mean, it's very satisfying to watch Bowser fall in the drink, but that takes time. These Koopas on the steps are actually deceptively hard as well. A little-known fact in Mario 1 is the Troopa's hitbox actually extends slightly above the tile border. So if you're standing off the ledge, there's a pretty good chance they are going to walk into you. And you will be surprised when you lose that power-up.
Big John opting to get fire and the star right away. He'll be able to get fire again right here. On
nice.
his back.
There is another fire flower in one of the... Well, he just saw it on the screen. But getting it with the Hammer Brother, never a bad idea. And that is now extending Lack and Darb's lead over Big John, though, to an entire stage. Fortunately, we're already basically a quarter of the way into the game, so even if it became a full world going into Big John's game... Well, actually, we're doing Lost Levels last, so... he's going to have a comeback opportunity at the end. I'm used to doing this in sort of the Japanese release order, with SMB2J coming second, but we're doing it last.
Yeah, you and I both raced those games in the same order. All right, third castle, 3-4. Let's see how Darb and Lack hang on to those fire flowers.
The Pottabos treat Darb nicely. Lack's taking a little extra caution. Down goes Bowser.
Is it Pottabos or Potabos? I always wondered that.
Yeah, we can just call them the fireball things.
I like that. I like that. Let's go with it.
So Lack is not Lack. Well, he is now. They're both in 4-1 at the top of the screen. This is a stage, notably, that on the NES version you could just jump over these piranha plants. But now we're killing them. Otherwise, there's really not much to talk about in 4-1. It's hold right and occasionally jump. Lakitu in Mario 1 is just pretty easy to run by.
Fire kill from Big John, very nice. This is so weird watching 4-2 on Warpless because traditionally from Lack and Darb, so used to waiting for that fast 4-2, but not this time. This is Warpless.
True. The wrong warp, the fast 4-2. But right now, Warpless. Darbian, though, as usual, proving he's no stranger to really any stage in this game. And even his lead over Lack Attack is starting to slowly extend. A little surprised Darbian's already got a 1-up. Usually 4-3 is where I see a lot of runners pick up their 100th coin. Doesn't really mean anything, it's just one of those little trivial facts you start to notice.
Ooh.
Oh no. I'm gonna watch the Twitch replay. Fortunately, it's easy to get powered up again at the beginning of 4-2. Looks like he just kind of slid off the ledge there by accident.
It's so easy to miss an input depending on what type of condition the controller's in, but a missed input wouldn't surprise me there.
Darbian is here. Bowser. 4-4, I think, is the hardest Bowser in the original Mario Brothers. But Darb handles it like a pro. as does Lack. No fear. Of course, 4-4 is the first of the 2 maze castles in this game, along with 7-4. I guess you could consider 8-4 to be somewhat of a maze, but
8-4 is the maze that everybody remembers.
yeah. Alright, so hopefully Big John can catch up a little bit here, or at least keep up the pace, because it's really hard to gain any sort of time on Darbian in Mario 1.
Is a good note from chat. It's not over till it's over, though, keep in mind, because there are 4 different games, 4 different types of movement, especially if you choose Luigi in Lost Level. Still anybody's game here. Big John isn't that far behind.
Oh yeah, I mean, the big advantage that Big John has is that his game is last. And Darbian, for all that he's out in front by a little bit right now, his game is first. So, I mean, of course he's out in front right now. Big John showing right there why 4-4 is probably the hardest Bowser, trying to get around that fireball stick and the Podobo while still getting 5 fireballs into Bowser. Not exactly easy. Speaking of not so easy, Darbian with these clutch jumps.
Oh my goodness, Darb.
So 5-3 is basically 1-3, but with these random bullet bills coming at you every which way. Lack Attack having a similar adventure through 5-3.
It's always interesting to see how much the route varies between the two.
Really, it's more the RNG of these bullets, because they both had tight jumps. Oh! Darbian not quite able to make the elevator jump. I thought something looked off there. Lack's getting tagged by the fire stick that Darbian just barely jumped over. That is an intended part of the route to jump over it. But Lack is going to tag the axe first, and right now nobody has any power-ups until Big John, of course, grabs a mushroom.
Lack takes the lead, but not by much. Darbian's right on his tail still.
Shoutouts to Lack Attack for being the last deathless runner. So Big John here is going to get back up to fire while still in 5-2. Worth noting, there are 3 power-ups in 5-2. Oh, he's not going to get fire. He's just going to keep going. That brick he went under has a fire flower in it. 5-2 has 3 power-ups, and usually you'll see people end up collecting them all, depending on how things go. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I kind of feel uncomfortable with the fact right now. Now, it looks like Lack is entering 6-2 without a fire flower. 6-2 is one of the #1 levels in this game. You want to have fire even going in it to reduce time loss. So I'm interested to see what happens to the time advantage or disadvantage between Darbian and Lack after 6-2. And we saw firework on the end of Darbian's.
So Lack proved he knows where that fire flower is, and then immediately, though, you see Darbian catching right up to where Lack Attack was, at least where they were, how far they were separated at the end of 5-4. So that power-up animation kind of paying off, although Darbian's back out in front. Meanwhile, on the bottom of your screen, Big John having a little mishap in 5-4. Didn't catch exactly how it happened, but he missed a jump. And he needs to just kind of take a breath and make sure he gets through this level. I don't know what Big John's life situation is. I don't think he's died too much. Lack, why?
Lack with another death. Darbian back out in front. Now, Darbian did have, as Mr. Cab said here, a small lead after 6-2, and we predicted that might happen because of the fire flower situation going on. But with that death, Darb back out in front with a more commanding lead by SMB1 standards.
I mean, Lack got back up to fire in 6-2, but he ended up jumping onto a piranha plant near the end, after he got fire.
Darbian losing his flower in 6-4. But right under the Bowser, Darbian will be first to tag the axe in 6-4, entering World 7.
Nice. World 7's actually where the game really starts to get unforgiving. Saw Lack and Darbian both got that pattern where the kind of the fireball sticks came together, closed the door on both of them. Lack managed to slow down out of necessity. He didn't have a power-up to give. Darbian kind of went for it, didn't make it. That just means 7-1's a little harder for him. Big John, for the record here, did get fire in 6-1, so he was going into 6-2 with fire flowers to burn the piranha plants down. See, Darbian's working on getting this fire flower at the end of 7-1.
You think it was worth it, Cap?
For the fire?
Yeah, looks like Lack's doing the same thing, but the mushroom's much easier to grab than the flower at the end of this level. Dang.
That mushroom comes to you, although Lack also had a little trouble hitting the block. 7-2 is basically the same level as 2-2, the previous water level, but with more enemies. So in both cases, you basically want as many power-ups as you can get coming in here. Obviously, fire to kill the enemies, clearing a path is useful. Having that mushroom so that you're not sitting around for 5 seconds waiting for them to swim out of your way, you can just tank the hit. Also a good idea. So let's see how they handle things as Big John is in 6-3, charging forward here. He's not taking exactly the fastest strat here. Darbian going over a Cheep Cheep that was almost at the top of the water.
Tale of Two Waters stages here going on in 7-2. Lack's just trying to dodge all these Cheep Cheeps, takes a hit there, while Darbian just plowed through everything in the stage with his fire flower. Props to Lack, though, for getting through that stage still without fire. Not easy.
That spot where Lack took the hit is the exact spot I usually am thinking of when I collect the mushroom to take a hit. Because you don't want to just sit there waiting for that slow-moving Cheep Cheep to get out of your way and give you an opening. If you can take a hit and just go. That 6-4 power-up for Big John, not exactly an easy one to get. Fortunately, he breaks even. Lack stopping to get this mushroom. Not sure I would advise doing that, but he's got it.
We just had that discussion the other day about that exact mushroom, Cab.
It's not a kind one.
Alright, here comes 7-4, the second puzzle castle of SMB1.
Mm-hmm.
Another difference between the consoles, you actually get a ding sound when you're correct, and kind of like a burn, like don't know how to describe the wrong sound. Yeah, kind of like that. But no problem for Darbian. What a beastly 7-4. Very good.
Big John proving why 7-1 not an easy level. It was actually really impressive that we saw Lack and Darb having an easy a time as they did in there. I think he has one more set of Hammer Brothers, but Darbian's off to World 8. Oh my goodness, Big John, why?
Oh my gosh, all those hammers.
Oh,
very nice, though.
Oh my god! The bullet build dodges there. But not able to get past the Buzzy. Oh my goodness. Just go. Just go. Come on, Big John. You'll come back in lost levels. So you were talking earlier about the any percent route. And of course, World 8 as a whole, part of the any percent route.
However, and I hope Darb and Lack especially remember this, do not do the bullet bill glitch in A2. You will soft lock in All-Stars. That is a big difference between the NES and the All-Stars version, to say the least. True. Do not perform the bullet bill glitch here.
Just don't do it. Darb, of course, already fully powered up. We'll see if Lack decides to shroom up. I expect he would for a race like this. Here's Big John at that same point where Lack tanked the hit earlier. And you can kind of see having to wait for all these aquatic creatures to move out of the way can be a little time consuming. And Lack has grabbed that shroom. Darb's able to keep going. One other minor note, really. After this set of Hammer Brothers, there's a Koopa and then 2 Hammer Brothers. On the NES version of this game, that shell tends to go through the Hammer Brothers and not actually kill them. That's also fixed on this SNES version. So Big John not quite able to stay on the platforms. He's on his last life. I'm hoping I'm not jinxing Big John too much.
Nah, he'll get through this in the next level. However, if I were Big John, and once I do get to World 8, I would probably take the death and refill on lives, especially during such a long race like this.
Yeah, if he takes the game over, he has to restart all of World 7. So, Darb, did he get a wall jump? He lost fire getting up to that top pipe. He did get a wall jump.
Darbian with the pipe glitch in 8-4. So what Darbian did was he moved the screen over enough so the screen read his entry into that pipe as the entry into the next pipe. So we didn't have to cross the gap and probably wait for another piranha plant. So nice pipe glitch by Darbian there.
Alright, let's see if he can do the hammer jump. He challenges the Potavo. Doesn't challenge Bowser. And he is done on 1. Alright. Big John is through World 7 safely.
So Darbian just under 21 minutes on the first Mario. We'll see what Lax time's about to be here in a second.
Not bad for the SNES version.
Not bad at all.
So Darbian playing as Mario in Mario 2, and... Oh, I see.
Oh, he's going for the potion glitch. Does he get it? Oh, and he gets it. Well done, Darb.
That I'm less familiar with how it works than I am. Well, I guess he wasn't going to go for the ladder glitch, given he already took the hit. We're looking at this. Lack has finished Mario 1.
Darbian going all out with the potion glitch. So I'm not entirely sure how it works, but the way how the stage is mapped, he clips through the floor to take him to that part of the stage, which will, save quite a few seconds. He doesn't have to do as much of the first room. Here goes Lack's attempt. Oh, Lack actually got a little quicker than Darbian. Darbian had to have about 3 or 4 bounces. Lack got it on a second potion bounce, so well done.
Do you have to be playing as Mario to get that glitch?
Every time I've seen it, it's been Mario, but I wouldn't know entirely. I'd have to ask a SMU2 runner about that one.
Darb went for this jump. He's going to go for it again, using the Bezos to cross the gap. Last time, I guess he repressed the B button, or at least the NES B button, which should be Y, and picked it up instead of just going through things. Darbian's going to go with key strats for Birdo.
So, normally in this stage, Toad would be picked, so Carpet Glitch would be performed. But, however, since it is a race, I could understand Luigi's strat. But, oh my gosh, the Phanto following him into the Birdo fight. Does he get it? Yeah, I'd say so. That works. Very nice, Tarp.
He got it.
That was more of a question. Does he get it? That Phanto was out for blood. Here comes Lack's attempt on key killing Birdo.
Well, Big John has made his way to 8-3. I didn't see if he, I think he went with the game over strats to get back up to 5 lives, because his score looks awfully low right now.
Big John, though, stepping up, taking out the Hammer Brother, then takes a death right after getting the mushroom.
Right after I start talking about whether or not he went and he did that already. I need to just stop looking at his screen.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Phantos, here comes Darbian. Phanto coming after him in 1-3, which this one's really not that big of a deal.
Lack also did a glitch here, similar to the 1-1 glitch, to skip having to climb all the way up there, and he's ahead of Darbian again now. As Darbian gets to have fun juggling the key. So Big John either didn't get or lost the first power-up. Fortunately, now he's past the first Hammer Brothers, he should be safe here. Even if he takes a hit with the mushroom, he can just survive on the iframes to the end of the stage.
Big John done with 8-3. One more stage, and Big John will be right back in the thick of things in SMB2 US.
Lack Attack, though, done with 1-3. Darbian unable to get the pause glitch that I didn't even know was a thing until I think yesterday when I saw Lack doing it on his stream. Trying to not get frozen while the fanfare plays, he can just enter that door.
Now I believe that is an All-Stars exclusive glitch. Am I right?
I would think so. I haven't actually studied Mario 2 NES enough.
Well, there's no menuing in the NES, so I'm pretty sure this is an All-Stars exclusive thing, which is great. I like seeing All-Stars exclusive type glitches.
Yeah, you can still pause, though, I think, to some extent, so that's why I'm curious whether or not it can still happen. So Big John just needs to nail this Hammer Brother, and he's home free, we hope. Oh no. Well, he didn't go for the jump. I don't know if he just didn't feel comfortable with going for it, or he doesn't know it. You should be able to jump off the pipe and hit that Hammer Brother pretty reliably. And that's one of the big things that makes the end of 8-4 really speedrunnable at all. I did want to... Scott, did you want to talk about why we're choosing Toad so often in this game? I'm assuming most people know, but we might have some newbies out there.
Whenever Toad picks up an item, he runs faster, and that's why you're going to see, for the vast majority of these levels, we're going to be using Toad. In addition, Toad also digs through sand faster, which is why you see Toad in a lot of the Desert World / levels, such as all of World 2, pretty much.
All of World 2, and really 6-1 is the other stage for it.
We're going to be seeing also quite a bit of Luigi, as we saw Darbian in 1-2 perform the jump with the Bizo. There's a couple other jumps that Luigi can perform that others cannot, except for Peach, but Peach is very slow in this game. Although the float is wonderful casually from a speedrunning sense, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Big John finished with Mario 1, back in the fray with Mario 2. Let's see how much ground he can make up in this.
He's already selected Mario, so I think we know what we're about to see from him.
Let's see him do the glitch.
Darbian is getting trolled by Birdo here. Big John is going to go back out the door to reset the potion.
But anyways, though, there's going to be a major sequence break in World 4-3 where either Luigi or Peach, choosing Luigi again because of speed, you're going to be able to break most of that level. And we'll talk about that as it gets closer, but that's why you'll see the runners pick Luigi over Toad for some of the levels.
Yeah, I think 3-2 is Peach's big chance.
Yep, because she can sequence break that part of the level.
And 3-3 will be the only other level we see Mario, just because he's the next fastest after Toad. And there's one jump Mario can make without having to stop and duck that Toad can't. So, I mean, we're really talking about, what, like, maybe 1 second that Mario saves in that level?
Hey, every second counts, though, and if you can just scroll over to Mario and skip it, why not?
Definitely.
Darbian encountering a bit of trouble from the Shy Guys in the sand, which is quite frustrating, even casually and from a speedrunning sense. The Shy Guys in the sand are very annoying and they're hard to get rid of.
Big John getting some Luigi action in early here. I didn't see what Lack... No, Lack also went for key strats.
And Big John completes the Bizo jump on his first try. Very well done.
Nice. Lack tanks one hit to take down Triclide. No sweat.
Do you want to explain how that trick works on the Triclide, Mr. Cap?
So I didn't fully see the hit, but the main premise is, I mean, you can get a mushroom back there and just... From the looks of what Lack did, he was just picking it up and throwing it constantly. I know it's also possible to get back there and throw the tweeter, which I believe is the official name of the little bird enemy, off the wall. And as it bounces back, it will hit the Triclide multiple times. Not sure if that works on SNES. I think it works on NES though. Either
Lag
way,
takes
quick
a couple
kill is good
seconds.
kill.
You see what's in the chat, Kev?
When Big John is Luigi, he's in his element.
No. Lex says it's tough. It's very
Lack
hard
actually-
to be consistent. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Lack actually had a really nice kill of Birdo here, actually getting him stacking the mushroom blocks while he was knocking him out, so that he could just jump right up. Ooh, Darb playing really close there.
That was a tight fight with Birdo there, although I never did care for the fact that the mushroom blocks were behind Birdo with that fight starting in 3-1.
So you just saw Lack execute a glitch here. We'll go over it again as Darbian executes it. So this is the level where we're choosing Peach. There are a couple of jumps, mainly this one jump here, that it's more effective to use Peach on just to float over that gap. From there, when you're going off the side of a ladder in Mario 2, it's possible to kind of to get a jump in as you're falling off. And you can use that to get off the top of the screen, just like in Mario 1, where you usually as 1-2 as kids, we all ran over the top of the level. You do that in 3-2. There's one other stage we'll get to see that in. One other major stage anyway. I think there might be more in the true speed route. I'm just a speed... I don't know, I'm a casual speedster in this game.
Lack entering what I believe to be one of the most annoying levels in SMB2, and that's 3-3. 3-3 is just so deceptively difficult, and it's so long as well.
See, Lack's gonna use this door as a checkpoint. The intended route for this stage is to go in a completely different door to get a key, and to go in a completely different way to get to that door that Lack just actually went through. Of course, as speedrunners, that takes way too long, so we do what Darbian's doing now. You take the ninja here and just use that to jump up. That's the door that Darbian just passed that you would come out of normally. And it's the second jump on the other side of the next door that is the one that Mario can make with a run start that Toad can't. Of course, Darbian not able to escape the flowers there, and because he did not get the checkpoint door, he has to go all the way down and start the climb again. This is going to be quite a time gain for Lack here.
Hopefully, one of the bombs will take out... I call them fuzzies. I don't know what they're called in this game, but...
I think they're Sparkies.
Sparkies, yeah. They look a lot like the fuzzies from Super Mario World.
They do a little bit.
And down goes Mauser. Very nice Lack. Lack takes about a half a stage lead or so, we'll call it.
Darbian having just a little bit of trouble with these jumps. Needing to get some momentum behind them so Mario gets a little bit of extra height. Big John caught in the sand. He's going to go in that door, I guess, as a checkpoint. There is actually a very easy to collect 1-up in that door. A little surprised he didn't go for it. You know, while we were talking, Lack Attack is through the main section of 4-1.
Big John being very innovative, and I believe it's when you successfully kill five enemies in this game, you do get a heart, correct me if I'm wrong, and Big John did just that, which is good. You definitely need it in some of these sand digging levels in case something goes wrong with one of the Shy Guys.
I forget exactly how many enemies it is, but that's the general premise of it. And you want those hearts sometimes, just to give that insurance policy.
Yeah, I remember the number being 5 because it takes 5 cherries to get a Starman, and killing 5 enemies to get the extra heart.
Of the 3, who is the best? I don't know, they're all pretty good. We're here to find out who is.
Very nice Birdo fight there for Big John. Very quick with Toad.
Black is showing no mercy in 4-2 here. And then Darbian's about to wrap up 4-1, so if Black does this right, he is counting things out, so these 4 cherries, one of them is going to give him a star, and it looks like the third one did. He's going to run over and grab it, and similar to something we will see later in Mario 3, get to the boss with a star. It's a very fast fight.
And there Birdo goes. Very nice, Lack.
It's a little tricky to get that because of all the cherries over the whales in the first part of this stage. So we were talking earlier about 4-3 and choosing Luigi.
Yeah, major sequence break coming up. Black not even wanting to budge on time. Normally, at least when I'm doing a longer All-Stars Warpless race like this, I will go and get the mushroom on the other end of this stage because Fry Guy, there are just so many things that can go wrong in the Fry Guy fight, but Black refusing to give up time of any kind for security goes into the Fry Guy fight.
Fry Guy is actually a really unforgiving boss. Although I think Black has a system.
Oh my goodness, that was a very quick Fry Guy fight. Good for Lack.
I've seen him do that in practice a few times. I mean, I agree. If you miss that, those small fireballs start bouncing around all over the place. Darbian takes a death to the Birdo fireball. He's down to 2 lives.
Yeah, no Starman kill for Darbian here, so he has to kill Birdo the long way compared to the way Lack killed him a couple minutes ago.
Black doing a good job with Luigi in 5-1. Intended route through the stage is to ride a lot of those tadpoles across the waterfalls. He's through.
Very nice Tri-Collide fight. Does Big John get the pause glitch? Yes, he does. Nice, Big John.
So we'll be a little curious to see if Darbian decides he wants to get some 1-ups for insurance in 5-1. He's probably not going to do anything. There is a 1-up in the stage itself, but 5-1 is just a stage where it's very easy to actually collect a lot of coins for the slot machines. That said, the SNES version, you actually don't have limits on your continues. I could see these runners just charging forward.
So again, in case anybody missed it, the pause glitch is when, at the end of the fight, you pause and try to avoid the player from standing still. Unfortunately, Darbian didn't get it, but ideally, if the pause glitch works, you don't lose control of your character at any point. You can go straight into that door without having to listen to the entire fanfare.
See, Darbian in 5-1 is actually just going to lose his last life to get them all back. So he does not trust himself to get through World 5 on 2 or even 3 lives.
Such a good and efficient Birdo fight, by the way, right there by Big John. Very nice. No hesitation, unlike the other 2 runners on that one. I think by far he had the fastest Birdo fight there.
Black, speaking of slow Birdo fights, working on 5-2 here. Gets him with the tadpole. I guess neither of them went to get that 1-up up top in 5-1. It's on top of one of the high platforms. But just you would want those 1-ups to avoid having to go back to the start of the world, add a game over, then happen later on. Darbian Lack, though, not wanting to spend that time. Granted, Lack Attack has moved out about a full stage ahead of Darbian at this point. Black, I know, has been practicing Mario 3. Darbian, I would suspect Mario 3 is his weakest of these games. Although, like I said earlier, maybe it's Mario 2. I'm hedging bets a lot just because I'm not sure. Lack is having a very strong Mario 2. Big John's still keeping pace here, though. So there is the fast carpet for Lack. It's a glitch I've never quite been able to get to work. See, I think we're without Sky for a moment here. Anyway, that fast carpet glitch, if you line up the two Pidgeots and their carpets properly, the second one being one you respawn, you can land on it, the second one's carpet, and get a fast running speed instead of the slow carpet riding speed to go across the rest of the stage. You know,
Okay.
anything goes faster. Everything okay?
Yep, Discord decided to knock me out of the call. I wanted to ask, do you think 5-3 is one of the hardest stages in the whole game of SMB2? We say that as Lack Attack kicks the stage's butt, but seriously.
5-3 has... The opening is a lot harder than it looks. It's not that bad, but it's not trivial. And really, the middle section that Darbian's going to get through this next door can be a pain. I mean, you have to figure out how to dodge that Sparky. You have to slide through that vase, and the game really doesn't like letting you slide through things. And this flower has to be the worst enemy in this game. And just to make things better, you get to see him twice.
Yeah, this section that Darbian's on right now with the flower, it's horrible. Yeah. Normally, a good strategy would be to take a mushroom with you, but all of that takes time. And yet again, Darbian and Lack are not pulling any punches on time. They're not taking any safeties. I think the most we saw of a safety was Lack choosing to go in that one door, which, as everybody here knows, that's been a big time difference here. So, something to think about. And there is the carpet glitch. And oh.
Yeah. He got on that carpet a little late, and it was flickering out for an awfully long time, and I was hoping that Darbian would find a spot to get off of it. Lack is going for fast 6-2.
You want to talk about 6-2 a little bit, Cap?
I would talk about it if I knew more about what's going on. All I know is what you're seeing. There is a chasm, and there are a handful of enemies along the way, and if you are Luigi, you can jump up between those enemies and make everybody jealous.
You have to know the exact spawn points of those enemies, though. If you mess up on one, you're dead in 6-2. It's just a matter of doing some safe state practice. Meanwhile, Darbian in a little bit of a pickle right now. One hit left on Clawgrip here. Gets the double hit there. Let's see. Can he do it?
Nice. The triple.
Oh, beautiful kill. That was a very stressful situation. That is the kind of way to proceed further and make up as much time as possible in a race. Very clutch kill by Darbian there.
Nice. Big John, meanwhile, had a little trouble on the first screen of 4-2, is now navigating the whales. Lack is going for this potion jump.
And the jump sounds as straightforward as it is. Put the potion below you, use it as a platform. Not very easy to execute, though. And the alternative strat here is, and this is what I would suggest casually.
Yeah.
Sink down into the sand. There it is, by the way. Very nice potion jump. You sink down in the sand, but it takes forever to get underneath. So, Lack getting the potion jump after so many tries, I would say it's still faster than going through the sand.
No, I think he was at it long enough that he should have just gone through this. If he had gone through the stand to start, it would have been faster.
Really?
I think so. It's not that slow. I mean, it's slow. But probably 3 or 4 tries at it. The jump, you could have just gone through the sand. Did Lack manage to put that mushroom block down without hitting Triclide? How is that even possible?
So. Hitboxes.
Well, that's never happened before.
Hashtag that's never happened before. But Lack getting the Triclide kill and with style as that mushroom block sits upon the column. No pause glitch. Meanwhile, Darbian now we get to see fast 6-2 again.
Oh my goodness.
And here comes Big John's Fry Guy battle.
He's lost a mushroom block to the bottom of the screen. He's hiding behind his wall. There we go. Any Fry Guy battle that ends with you, the victor, is a good Fry Guy battle.
I would agree. Even though all three of these runners handled Fry Guy very well, that is probably one of the toughest fights in the entire game. I would argue it's even tougher than Ward himself.
Darb just saved some 6-3 time on Lack by getting that potion jump. Was that the first try?
I believe so.
Down goes the green Birdo.
Yeah, the green Birdos only spit out fireballs. Sorry.
Right. I was going to say, we actually never talked about the green Birdos very much. There's 3 Birdos. There's pink ones that take a long time to spit out eggs. There's red ones that can shoot eggs or fire. And there's green ones that only spit fire. So Big John did just grab the 1-up in 5-1 that I was waiting for earlier. And Lack is in Wart's Castle 7-2, the final stage of this game. Remember 3-2 when they jumped over the top of the screen?
Yep.
Well, Lack didn't do it that time, but he's going to go down and try and do it again.
Oh, Lack gets sucked up by the top of the screen here. Let's try to do the chain jump again. And this is very similar to the glitch that was used in, what was it, 3-2? Yep, 3-2. Big John, meanwhile, making up some room here in Mario 2 in 5-2. Not too many things have given him difficulty so far in SMB2. Big John's been pulling off a lot of impressive boss kills. I'm definitely keeping tabs on him throughout. He'll probably overall end up saving a little bit of time on this one.
Yep. Lack having a pretty good Wart's Castle. It is kind of a very long level. There are 2 paths through it. And of course, each path has one of the 2 mushrooms if you're playing the game casually, looking for those mushrooms. Now here is the Wart fight. You want to basically hit him kind of in the necklace, I guess, when he opens his mouth. The bubbles he spits will destroy the vegetables. So hitting him from the front, not that easy. You can go casual strats and jump over his head, though Toad would tend to have a problem with that. And you're almost guaranteed to hit him from behind. Darbian is furiously trying to catch up here. Every vegetable that Lack misses Wart with.
Yeah, Darbian definitely closing the gap here in 7-2. And as a reminder, it takes 6 hits to take out Wart. 6. That's double any other boss so far in this game.
Most of them take 3, but notably the World 3 Mouser does take 5. As does, actually, I think Claw Grip as well.
Yeah, Claw Grip takes 5 as well. I always lose track of that because you can do double hits on Claw Grip.
Yeah.
Alright, here comes Darb's Lack fight going in with nothing but his dignity. He can't take any other hits during this fight.
Darb HR.
Always. Big John going into one of the tougher levels, 5-3 right now. He'll be doing battle against Claw Grip at the end of this. Lack, doing 1-1 in style here.
He just nailed the super jump a little while back.
And there he goes. There's 1 star, Cab.
1 star. We're laughing about the fact that in Mario 3 well, not really speedruns, just Mario 3 in general, at the end of every stage, you get one of these cards. It's either a mushroom, a flower, or a star. There's no 1-up like there is in Mario Maker. But every 3 of them, you do get a 1-up, unless they all match. And if they all match, you'll get a 2-up for mushrooms, a 3-up for fire flowers, or a 5-up for stars. But they're treated kind of like the fireworks in the original Mario Brothers engine, in that they take a lot of time. Not that much, but enough that you'd rather not get them. And some runners, Mr. Cab, likes to, just get as many lives as he can, kind of for the meme of it.
Also, GG Darb, as everyone in chat has reiterated on SMB2, he actually made up quite a bit of time between the potion jump and his Ward fight was substantially better. So Darbian back in it after a very good 7-2 at the end of SMB2.
So 2 Mario 3 stages behind. It's about a minute, which isn't that much at all. I have a feeling Lack is not going to have an easy time of the lost levels. I mean, everything always comes down to the lost levels, or whatever the last game happens to be. We're going to see how well Darbian can handle Mario 3. He has 2 stars now.
In Lost Levels, do you think they're going to be picking Mario or Luigi? I know Big John certainly will probably take Luigi, but what about Darbian and Lack?
I think Darv and Lack both play as Red Luigi. I'm not entirely certain, though. They have similar control differences to Mario 2 US there, although Luigi has a little bit skiddier shoes. Luigi is a little harder to stop, but gets about an extra tile of height on his jumps. So Lack getting through there. The star card that you get at the end of a Mario 3 stage, it basically always starts cycling at the same point, and it works out that if you run at it with P-speed as fast as Mario can run, you'll always get the star if you get it right away. So usually for the second and third cards, you'll see players kind of juke or skid and do something to try and avoid it. There's still a chance you'll get the star anyway. So Darbian there, fortunately for his time, able to avoid the 5-up.
And unfortunately, Lack is using the US version. Are they all using the US version? Because there is a substantial text differential between the US version of All Stars and the Japanese version of All Stars. You save so much time on menuing in SMB3 that it's totally worth it to use that. But I don't know if any of these runners are using the J version.
I haven't really been paying attention.
Well, Lack's definitely playing on the US version. I've seen that. We'll know right here where
Japanese text.
Darbian's gonna save time on Lack here. That's enough over the course of 7 worlds worth of text. Darbian's gonna catch right up to Lack as long as he doesn't make any mistakes. That is a substantial time save on text in SMB3. So Big John doing 6-2 using Peach. Probably good strategy here. Try to make up some ground. Hey, it's possible. It is possible to play this game without making many mistakes. In my opinion, Super Mario Bros. 3 is the easiest game out of these 4 runs. Unless you're trying to go for world record, then it gets a little more complicated.
I would agree with that. Mario 3, easily the easiest game of this entire set, at least to get through casually. Speedrun-wise, it can be a little tricky in some stages to maintain P-speed, whereas in the earlier games, that concept doesn't really exist. So it's not really something you worry about until you get here. And this platform giving Lack a little bit of trouble. He's barely staying ahead of it. There we go.
Big John is determined to get this potion jump in 6-3. Oh, almost.
Especially when you go underneath, once it's already landed and hit the ground, it's just go. But they all want to nail this trick.
Wow, Big John picking up the potion twice before it hits the ground. That's a hard thing to do in itself. And there it is. I applaud Big John for his persistence there.
Yeah, that potion turned into a key. I just want to throw that out there. I don't know what that causes that, but... Big John with a very, very clinchy Birdo fight, but he's through. It's Lack attack, about to take down the first Birdo. Big John. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
One of those. There we go. It's a B word.
Same family.
Big John having trouble with Triclide, gonna take another shot at it here. He was trying to go with the wall strategy. And now that he has the extra hit to give, it looks like he's just gonna take him out normally. Very nice dodge there, but he's gotta be a little careful. There we go.
Big John also planting the mushroom block on the column. And pause glitch? Not quite. Close though. Close. Alright, now Kev, with Big John entering 7-1 here, do you refill or do you just go for it with 2 lives?
I mean, Mario 2 isn't that bad. And you do have to climb up that one screen. It takes a little bit of effort here. I would say go for it.
Big John is. I applaud him for that. That takes a lot of courage to go forward. A race like this with 2 lives, I believe he can do it though. He doesn't need to do the safety strats.
Yeah, Big John's game for it. He can do it.
Yeah.
Of course, every other time I've said I've got full faith in Big John to do it, he's proven me wrong. So hopefully not this time.
I think he's gonna be just fine here. Alright, so some World 2 action going on here. The gap between Darv and Lack is slowly closing. The desert stage in World 2 is not very long, and Darv and Lack are only separated by that right now. So, ooh, I'm thinking maybe by about World 3 or World 4, we're going to see this gap closed.
Yeah, Lack did not really keep P-Speed through the end of 2-5. See if Darv's able to do it any better. Though he's going to start fighting some Boomerang Brothers. I didn't see what item Lack collected already. Darbian got Beats by Bro. Lack's going to get the second item anyway, so that is the hammer. You basically need to get that hammer to skip the 4 Fortress later. The music box, you do want to get one in either this world or in World 5, so not that big a deal to get one here. It just means you're hoping for a little more luck later.
Meanwhile, Big John getting the glitch in 7-2, the wall/chain jump, without much difficulty. Well done. Well done. No early hammer. You do not. I mean, it would be cool for the race, but you don't want to waste such a rare thing as early hammer on an All-Stars Warpless race. Like, no, that's the kind of thing you want when you're going for a world record. One of my friends who went the other night, he was doing this exact race. He got early hammer, and he was happy to get it in the race, but he was sad at the same time. You don't want to waste that kind of luck on something like this.
It was a really, really race.
Indeed. Big John fighting Warp right now, using some pause buffer strats there to ensure some safety. I kind of like that. I like it a lot.
It's worth noting here, actually, Wart's bubbles are not random at all. I think it's every 3 will take the high arc. Well, every 3 in a row, and then the 4th one will take the low arc. That's the dangerous one. So I think that's been 3 high ones, and he just hit Wart on the 4th one. Not exactly sure what Big John's trying to pause buffer at this point.
I think he's just doing that to be able to read the bubbles a bit better. You know, you get up against the 6-hit Wart, and things get a little nerve-wracking. I can understand why he does that.
I guess so. Big John enters the door and pushes reset. Off to Mario 3.
Alright.
Lack here. Ooh, okay. Okay, he lost the mushroom. But he's good. Lack's probably going to have to take some time, jump in the water, get a mushroom in 3-1, and then get the fire in 3-2. Whereas Darbian's looking to maintain fire, might even get to have a fire kill opportunity if he's lucky.
The number 1 Koopa Kid you want to have fire for is against Wendy, because you're playing on flat ground and you don't want to see what that fight looks like with 3 candy rings in the air. It's very scary, so hopefully all 3 players will have that ready to go.
Wendy in pretty much every incarnation is just an awful fight. Stay away from it. This one, at least you get the ease of the fire kill. Kind of help things out. So Lack is not going to stop and get that mushroom. He's going. Little surprised there. He might be going small strats as long as possible here.
Still only about separated by a stage. This is impressive so far. Big John going for tail strats here, going to get the whistle, avoid the fight with Boom Boom. Can he get it? Ah, oh, close. Very, very close. We call that fast fort.
So we were talking a little bit about cheap hitboxes earlier. 3-2 is the stage where it really shows that they're a little bad in Mario 3. It's actually, for whatever reason, a little easier to stomp them if you turn back to the left. Of course, then you're turning back to the left and losing just a little bit of time. Lack fights his way through the stage after falling in the water. Darbian also in the water now, but with fire.
Man, Cav, shots fired.
Oddly enough, Darb has not fired any shots. I'm a little surprised. I mean, he takes out the piranha at the end, but yeah, I'm just a little surprised. How about Lack? Oh my god. Oh god.
Here comes Boss Bass. Watch out, Lack.
Don't get eaten by the fish. That's an insta-kill.
Back up strats.
He hits the little fish. Oh god.
Oh my goodness. Lack. The clinch. The clinch. Does he get it? Does he get it? I'm running out of words to say. Come on, Lack.
He's in there.
Come on. Oh, in there. Oh my
Meanwhile,
goodness.
Darbian has completed 3-3 normally. So there goes the lead, everybody.
Well,
when's
tied at this
Marvel?
point.
I don't know, Chad. I don't know.
I have to recover after that stage. I'm sorry. I was very afraid of what was going to happen to Lack there.
Shoutouts to Oglib and Lasso. Neither player going for third door. Don't even know if it works on SNES. Sixth door goes to Boom Boom. Ninth door goes to a 1-up, but you might not want to do that here. Darbian showing why you want to keep fire, though.
Tale of two Boom Boom kills, indeed. We do have a race, though. This is exciting. Big John on the first airship already. Very nice.
So Darbian now officially back in the lead for the first time since 1-1?
Yeah, since SMB1.
My goodness, you're right. Lack actually finished SMB1 first, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Not by much, but Lack picked up quite a lead in SMB2 after Darbian had that death in 3-3. So here we are, all tied up in SMB3 between Darbian and Lack. Big John is not that far behind, especially with lost levels left, so please don't count him out yet. He is very much staying in there.
It might take until World B, but Big John's going to surprise us all.
Mm-hmm.
Lack gets fire back. So now we get to check the status of the Hammer Bros. And Darbian has a runaway. We were talking about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The situation here in World 3 is 3-6 is not a terribly difficult level, but it's a slow level. And it's a really long auto-scroller, and every time you complete a stage or a Hammer Brother or die in World 3, the drawbridges switch positions. There's one between 3-6 and 3-8. We'd like to use the cloud that lets you skip a level to go over it, like Lack's doing right now. But that Hammer Brother got on the other side, so Darbian had to basically take an intentional death to reset the bridge so he can go over. At which point, that Hammer Brother decided to come back and stop being a runaway, which means he had to fight him and reset the drawbridge again. So Darbian now behind Lack once again, getting a 1-up at least, going through 3-8, small. I think I got everything in there.
I think you did. I think you did a lovely job of explaining that. Lack always says never lucky. I don't think that's the case here. I think Lack had plenty of luck on that drawbridge and Hammer Bro combination, wouldn't you say?
He had the luck in that Darbian had the bad luck. Because the runaway brother on the other side of the bridge is not the most common thing in the world, but when it happens, oh man. The other thing about this, you were talking about fire earlier, Darbian doesn't have enough power-ups in the stage to... I mean, there is a mushroom early on, but it takes a little while to get.
No little H jump? Really? Really?
No, they both wanted the power-ups.
But little H jump.
Yeah. Lack, I think, just missed the H jump. Darbian wanted the mushroom. So
Meanwhile,
a little bit of back and forth.
We go into the hardest airship in this game. Perhaps not for platforming purposes, but for who is at the end of this airship. We have Wendy Koopa here. Lack with a clear advantage here, having firepower as he can kill Wendy with, I believe it would be 10 fireballs for that.
I think it's 10, yes, for each Koopa kid in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So the hardest part of this becomes don't lose fire. Wendy is one of the easier fire kills, and certainly the hardest jump kill. You're probably going to see Darbian grab the leaf here. You don't often see the raccoon tail in a speedrun. Here, it's just worth it to have the extra hit against Wendy. He's probably not leaving this fight with it. Not that he's not going to try.
Alright, Big John, almost done with World 2. Slowly and surely and steadily. Not much error in Mario 3 so far for Big John. He is making his way back into this race.
Wait, I think Darby's going to get a 1-up out of this. Nice. Meanwhile, Lack takes out Wendy.
No problem for Lack. Darbian doing tail strats on Wendy. Missing a candy cycle. Wow. Okay, so what Darbian just did there, Lack fire killed Wendy, no problem. What Darbian just did there is if you can manage to land a hit on Wendy before she has a chance to lose the candy ring, that's it. You only have to deal with one the entire fight. That's quite the jump kill for Darbian against Wendy.
And Darbian, I guess he did intentionally take that hit there. That wasn't the exact spot I expected him to take it, but not too surprised he lost that tail. When you jump with P-Speed and a raccoon tail, I mean, for one thing, the game slows you down every time you jump, very subtly, but as a speedrunner you start to notice it. And that will actually cause your P-Speed to eventually expire once you try to fly, which really means jumping at all with a raccoon tail. Don't want that to happen. That's why you rarely see the raccoon tail in speedrun. Not that it doesn't have its uses. 4-1 actually not a very easy level. Not the hardest, but not trivial. Although we're coming up to 4-3, which, Sky, I think you know more about than I do for how interesting that can be from the speedrun's perspective.
Yeah, if anyone wants to learn how to speedrun Super Mario Bros. 3, 4-3 is where you want to learn. So one of the first things I had was I sat with Mitch in a call, and Mitch said, I just want you to run back and forth and get used to P-Speed in this game, because the P-Speed meter is very fickle in this game. It is hard to keep that P-Speed meter going at all times, and you learn how to control it there. Once you learn how to control it, the inside of 4-3 becomes super easy. The ending part, however, is a little tricky. We'll see how far Lack gets into 4-3, P-Speed-wise, and Darbian will be right behind him. Let's see how Lack does this. Wow. Gets the Buzzy Beetle jump. I cheat and still use a star on this level, so I would recommend that for anyone still looking to learn this.
Oh my. Lack
Wow.
Attack, I think a couple of days ago, was practicing with Duckfist in his chat. That very stage, I think I was watching him attempt that level for about a half hour. So it took him a little while, but he obviously got it. Darbian being delayed by the Sledge Bro.
I thought he was trying to clip through that wall for a second. I know one of our friends always tried to clip through 4-3 while we were doing the nightly races, so that's what Darbian was doing there. That reminded me of that.
The X-Dragon clip is not a very common strat.
Okay, so one thing I do want to discuss real quick. Ooh, Darbian takes a death, unfortunately, which again, the second half of 4-3 is very tricky. Said that for a reason. Those spinies are not very nice. So what's happening at the beginning of 4-4 here, this is one of the differences. between All-Stars and the NES version is you do not have the opportunity for Lakitu bounce at the beginning of 4-4. Lakitu bounces, you jump off a Lakitu and you can skip that whole beginning section. Unfortunately, because the water level is low in the SNES version, you don't get to perform that trick, unfortunately. So that's one of the many differences in Super Mario Bros. 3 between NES and SNES.
Darbian having some adventures with woodblocks, but does get to the end of 4-3. Big John actually into the Morton fight right now. Morton's hitbox a little fickle, but Big John gets that third hit in anyway. Only bad news there is he's going to have to find another way. Well, he's going to have to stop to get fire somewhere. 3-2 is actually a very convenient spot to get it.
Yeah, 3-2 right at the beginning of the stage. No problem picking up fire there. Meanwhile, Darbian kind of riding the struggle bus here in 4-4. You do not want to be little in this level, because at the end, if you lose track of where Lakitu is on the screen, his spinies can hit you, and there's not a dang thing you can do about it RNG-wise. Let's see. Oh, okay. Close, but he gets it.
I think the water is a little higher than it is on the NES version, at least. On the NES version, like, the water is basically 2 tiles high when you get to the pipe, so it's very likely a spiny egg will just fall in the water right on top of you, and there's really nothing you can do about it. You get a little more time in this version. Fortunately, Darbian able to sneak out of the stage.
Alright, Black already heading onto the airship, and unfortunately the World 4 airship, very long, very boring. Enough time to make yourself a sandwich, kinda long and boring. Ugh.
Not even joking about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably need to pay attention to make at least a couple of jumps. But, yeah.
So Darbian takes a death in 4-6. This isn't a very long stage, though, so not as costly as some other stages. Big John getting through 3-2, grabbing the fire, just as Mr. Cab was suggesting. Very good. Very good.
I was expecting fire at the start of the level, not at the end. Not sure when he fell in, but maybe that was his plan all along, and I only just looked while he was there. He does want fire. He wants it at some point for Boom Boom, and you could get fire in 3-3 as well. It's probably faster to get it in 3-3 than in the water in 3-2. Big John, don't go in the water in 3-3. Just don't do it.
Still on that same airship. Poor Lack. It's such a long level.
Well, the good news is everybody else is going to have to go through it just as much. Big John is getting trolled by 3-3. He doesn't have Lack swim at the end, but he does get through.
I was gonna say, I think Lack would dispute about who was having difficulties at the end of 3-3 there.
It's a relative term. So Lack is not going for the top route strat. You basically wait for one of the flamethrowers to move off to the left edge of the screen. You can run off and make the jump, and you'll get on top of this little structure on the left.
Oh my gosh, airship, are we there yet? Please be done.
Sometimes challenges come to those who wait. Lack actually waiting a little bit there to get the last hit on Iggy, who has a very interesting hitbox sometimes.
Alright, Lack with the wand, Darbian still in the same airship, but again, enough time to make a sandwich, so that could be a couple minutes. Big John still working his way through World 3. Let's see how his Hammer Brother luck is, although I don't see the second one. Did he already go through both of them?
Sorry?
Did Big John already hit through both Hammer Brothers in World 3, or did one wander onto the other side of the map?
I have not noticed.
Alright, I hope it didn't wander. I hope he'd already eliminated both of them.
Yeah, you do want to take out the Hammer Brothers in World 3 as soon as you can to prevent runaways.
All right, let's see once he turns the screen. Oh no, we had a runaway. I wanted to believe that I had missed that, but no such luck. Big John taking a very different approach here. Chooses to take the death in 3-5 versus 3-6.
All right, so we got to see 3-5 in this race.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's the Hammer Brother. Can he put it to sleep?
No, he's gonna fight it. Is this the hammer or the star? That's the only question.
I want to say this is the star because
star.
yep. Now he has to take another death. Go back to 3-5 again, though. He doesn't have to wait for the scroll, so I understand entirely why he's doing that.
Well, the scroll still isn't even that long.
Alright, Big John taking the star against Boss Bass. He says, dang it, if I had to work for this star, we're at least going to take out Boss Bass with it.
Even then, okay, he does get the kill. Gets a vine.
Darbian completes his sandwich, and now he's on to World 5.
Lack took a hit there. Lost his fire, but is still, well, not all the way through 5 Fort with P-Speed.
And complete. Come on, Lack. Alright, so he gets through. That is a very difficult fort, by the way. If you lose control in that fort at any point, you could die, so good job on Lack on getting through that. It can be very discouraging sometimes taking multiple hits in that fortress. Alright, some Hammer Brother action here. Now, I mean, the P-Wing's nice to get in Warpless, but I believe it's not necessary. Am I correct?
Which one?
The P-Wing at the bottom of World 5, because I've seen the speedrunners not take on any Hammer Brothers in World 5. And the fact that the one that Lack happened to get was a P-Wing was actually pretty lucky, but it's not necessary.
So 5 and 4 both have a Hammer Brother with a P-Wing. You can skip one of them in the full speedrun route. It's faster than, obviously fighting less Hammer Brothers, faster than fighting more Hammer Brothers. Darbian sliding off the ledge right into the drink.
It's so easy to fall into the drink in that level. Darbian, meanwhile, is going to take another crack at it, hopefully not fall. People call them nuclear waffles. I believe the player's guy calls them roto discs, but I like the name nuclear waffle instead. Has a nice ring to it. Lack making its way to the top of the tower. Remember, World 5, for those of you who might not remember, is connected by a tower. It's mandatory. You have to go from one end to the other to progress through the world.
Lack's going to take the easy route here.
Boo. I'm sorry, I'm always for the speedrunning route through here, but I can understand why Lack's doing that at the same time. 5-4 is very temperamental. If you miss even one input, you're dead in the level on P-Speed strats.
And Lack tried to take it too short and too fast. He's going to have to go through it the normal way anyway.
The windmill just giving Lack attitude there. Big John ready to take on Wendy. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if he can get a no additional ring fight. Yes, nice second hit. And Big John showing everybody how to do it on Wendy. Very nice fight.
This Lack attack taking a little slow near the end there. Does have to keep the speed up to not get hit by spiny eggs and gets a 5 up for his trouble. Darbian actually in a similar situation. He might get 5 up at the end of 5-4 as well.
Darbian, though, gaining time on Lack. They are officially one stage apart, and that is the way how SMB3 has began. So we are back to square one in terms of distance. Lack opting for a leaf?
He really wants that leaf. Damage boost through something. Does he know there's a power-up in one of those blocks? Doesn't look like it.
Because there's fire in 5-7 coming up, but wasn't interested in...
Yeah, you're right. Not interested. He needs to have a mushroom first.
Fire is very important at the top of World 5 because not only do you have Boom Boom, obviously, But 5-8 is a level where you're gonna want fire, especially if you get P-Speed. You'll have Lactoon and a bunch of Spinies chasing you throughout that level, and not having fire is gonna make that much more difficult. And fire is not available in the fortress coming up. That's a leaf in there and a star.
Yeah, fire, it's possible to do 5-8 without fire, but it's certainly a huge help to be able to clear those enemies out. And the Sky Fort here, obviously you do want fire for Boom Boom, like you said. See, looks like Black's going to get the star. He's going to spend his mushroom to do it, though.
Darbian has his fire flower, though. He's ready to go for World 5. Lack losing the mushroom in the fortress. Ooh. That hitbox on that Podobo, though. Big John going into 4-3. Let's see if he can keep some P-Speed throughout 4-3. Yes, yes, yes. I like the strats already that Big John's been doing. That is exactly how I do 4-3 when I don't have a star.
Just charges in. Not willing to risk it on the beetles. That's not that bad, though. He's already through basically 2/3 of the level by the time he gets there and loses P-Speed.
Well, here comes Lack, small on 5-8, and falls into the abyss. Darbian has caught up pretty much at this point. Not much time separates Darbian and Lack right now.
Especially as Lack stops here to get a power-up. That's probably going to end it.
I had discussed at the beginning of the race that a lot of this race was going to fall on who was able to adapt better to certain power-up and RNG scenarios, not to mention, you know, obviously not dying as much in SMB3, and boy, has that proved to be true so far, as Darbian retakes the lead coming out of 5-8. Wow. That's insane. We taking our cloud through 5-9. The World 5 airship is one of the #1 levels you don't want to die in, because if you die in an airship after losing a cloud, who knows where that airship's going. And 5-9's an auto-scroller, you are stuck on the other end of that auto-scroller. In other words, just don't die in this airship. Very important. It's not too difficult of an airship, but Roy, with his stun-locking earthquakes, might say otherwise about that, so... As long as our players are very careful against Roy, I don't think this will be too much of an issue.
You really don't want that airship to just stay on the other side of 5-9. It's a bad situation to be in. Of course, if it goes down to the ground, I mean, it's not that much time to go back down the tower, but you don't want to be going up and down the tower chasing after Roy's airship either.
Big John already in the second half of World 4, almost.
He escaped.
Almost in 5.
He did have his 4-4 escape not too long ago.
Yes, he did.
Other version differences, this is a minor one here, but there's a cannonball that does not come from the left side of the screen before that little gauntlet section. That on the NES version you can use to get on top of it. It's still possible to get on the top of it through one of the other cannonballs, but you might have to change your strats between the NES and the SNES version.
They were also talking about regional differences, and again, to reiterate, the text at the beginning of the airship saves a ton of time if you're on the Japanese version versus the US version where the text crawls in comparison. So Darbian will have the advantage here, having much faster text. Just watch right here, you'll get to see him almost neck and neck here. Darbian's going to save a few seconds on lag here because of text. So slow, just look at that. And even the fade out also is much longer than the J version. Big John approaching the World 4 airship, entering into World 5 soon. He'll be ready to make his sandwich on the World 4 airship.
Yeah, we might just have to dock Darbian for that time at the end of this race. He's the only one on the J cart right now.
They knew what they were getting into.
Yeah, we'll just add a minute on to whatever he comes out with.
That really is the difference, though, right now. It will be the text, probably, by the end of this.
Yep. So Darbian has a star in Boom Boom's room.
The kick is up, and it's good. Very nice. Let's see how Lack handles it.
This is the only situation in Mario 3 where you can bring a star into a boss room.
Yeah.
Basically have to be small to do it, just to get under this block and get P-speed going.
Let's see, Lex. And also good. Now, this is a minor not regional, NES difference. In the NES version, if you defeat Boom Boom with that star, oh, watch out for that windmill, Darb.
Yeah.
Very nice. If you take out Boom Boom with the star in the NES version, the question mark on the orb is actually turned upside down. Just funny fun fact there. Darbian almost bought the farm on that windmill. That windmill's tough to avoid if you don't jump over it using the P-switch.
So's that fire chomp.
Oof. The flame chomp takes out Lack, and Lack will have to re-enter 6-4. This race is turned around in favor of Darbian.
Indeed. 6-5, kind of a maze level. There's only one way through it. You have to basically fly up here with this shell so you can clear out those two piranha plants.
But is it possible to get the despawn on the SNES version? Because in the NES version, you carry a block up there and you despawn the nippers. That's what they're called, by the way.
The NES, you can despawn one of the nippers up there. It's probably possible on SNES.
Lack might have a chance. Do you think he gets the Hammer Brothers suit cap? What do you think?
I don't know. I would say go for it.
Yeah. Darbian with a successful ice fort, successfully flying under the whole stage. Big John done making his sandwich. He's into World 5.
Lack, thinking about that mushroom, grabs it. Doesn't matter though, because he's just going to use this P-Wing anyway.
Alright, so here comes Lack. I believe he's using the P-Wing here. Yep.
It was a little risky with that Koopa shell there, almost knocking into some other things. Darbian, though, running into one of the beetles in 6-8. He's going to have to try it again. He's shrooming up this time. Big John through 5-1.
Darbian taking all the hits, but it's okay as long as he gets past the stage because you're going to be using a P-Wing in the next stage. So it'll skip the entirety of the next stage and you guys all see it. But don't blink, you're going to miss it.
He does go a little slow and safe, but he's through. You're complaining about the little H jump earlier. No love for the big H?
No love for the big H. Well, we'll see on Lack's side. He still has to do that. And here comes the stage. Here we go. Hardest stage in the game. Up and over with the P-Wing. And he's finished. That was hard. That was hardcore, Darbian. Well done.
Lack Attack did not get a good jump to start the flight through this level. He's just going to go for it.
Oof.
No big deal. As long as he doesn't get hit by a thwomp anyway. Darbian landing on some spikes here. Oh, got some intense fortress action across all of the screens right now.
I was likely planned it that way.
If only.
I hate this boo room right here, Darbian goes, and you have to fall exactly where you are, otherwise you're going to take power-up damage. Or die if you're not holding a power-up. Here comes the big H jump. Let's see if Lack's going to get that. Hopefully Big John here gets the P-Wing first. Yep, he gets the P-Wing. Yep. Now the question is, if he has the extra music box, do you use it here?
Doesn't have to.
Ooh, nice RNG.
He's gonna fight the Hammer Brother anyway.
Really?
He could have gone straight through the tower.
Okay, Darbian coming up on the 6th airship. Very critical here that Darvian holds this power-up by the end of this airship. Reason being is there's a clip coming up that skips the entirety of 7-1. If there's no mushroom there, there's no deal. So please get past, I want to say it is Lemmy, without losing your power-up, because otherwise you either have to go play cards or play 7-1, and nobody's got time for that in a race. So Lack going through the fortress, getting P-speed strats. Oh, this swamp is giving Lack the business. He has to wait. Big John, same thing. Chooses to wait for the swamp. Also, predictions from the chat here. Here's a little bit of participation. How many times do you think it's going to take for these players to clip through 7-1? How many attempts do you think it'll take?
I'm gonna say Darbian gets hit by a ball and can't clip.
Well, that's not very nice.
I'm glad it didn't happen.
I was gonna say, why are you saying that? Don't do that.
It's always the prediction of does not clip.
No. I believe all of them can clip. It's just a matter of how many attempts here. Some people believing more than others. Some giving some very generous numbers. 14 and a half. Yeah, I could see where the half comes from there. If you miss the jump, there's the half right there.
All right, let's see.
All right, here we go. Darvian into the clip. No mac and cheese.
Third chime.
Oh, third time. We'll take it, especially in a race. Very nice, Darm. Very, very nice. Quick attempts. Third try. Thank you, drive-through.
So let's see if Darbian knows fast 7-2. Lack is going to grab this tail here. I was actually talking with him a little earlier about strats for getting through these levels. Because I don't think well, he is thinking about using that P-Wing on 7 Fort 1. He might be thinking of a backup, or he might just be thinking of the extra damage.
Alright.
Of course, you need to execute this fight pretty much the same way every time. If you get into an awkward situation like this.
Oh, no. Yes! Okay.
You do need to get through there with a mushroom so you can actually execute the clip, so good job on Lack recovering there. He doesn't have a tail anymore, but he shouldn't need it.
Lack is trying to take this audience for a ride. Between that and the boss bass, I can't take much more. Big John just chugging along through World 5. No problems for him whatsoever.
Yep. Big John in that Sky Fort now. Darbian in 7-3, which is actually a pretty trivial level. It's actually also a level where there are several question mark blocks that only contain a star if you are already invincible. So if you do things right, you can actually get through the whole thing. Darbian clouding over the worst level in the game, 7-4. Many people who actually are good at this game say the worst level is 5-9. I stick with 7-4.
Alright, Lack on the clip here. Certainly more tries than Darb at this point. I've lost count.
I think
some of those
that's
halves.
5, 6. Of course, we're watching on the commentary restream with that 2-second delay, so chat's probably saying 12 as I say 11.
He gets it.
He is through. So Lack falling a little further behind.
And instead of trying to clip through 7-6, Darvian chooses his P-Wing, and we're just going to fly right over it. No worries about clips. This one's a freebie.
Yeah, that clip is possible, but hard. So I missed when Lack got this. I think he gets this after 5-5, but he used a Tanuki suit to glide over that the giant gap that is covered by invisible note blocks. And he's going to try and keep this through 7 Fort 1 to save the P-Wing. The route doesn't call for this. That probably explains some of the time loss that we couldn't completely account for earlier. But certainly the faster strats are Darbs.
No Hammer Brothers suit for Darbian. I thought he was going to try to hold it till the end.
I think that's usually me that does that. I don't know if anybody else really goes for it. I think the TAS actually might do it. But that's really it. There is a hammer suit in 7-8. But it's only useful if you're going to do 7 Fortress 2 anyway. Or it's only faster, I should say.
Now, Darbian sequence breaking part of 7-9 here. Decides to opt against the clip, which is reasonable. But if you have a tail at the beginning of 7-9, which he did, you can skip about maybe like a quarter of the stage.
Not really. You skip the first real set kind of climb, but you do have to run back and forth and get P-speed to do it.
That's true.
It saves a handful of seconds, but I wouldn't call it major. But certainly if you have the tail, you should do it.
Except if you clip. And to clip in 7-9, it's insane.
The quad clip. You can't defeat the quad clip.
Alright, Big John, done with World 5. It's only about a world behind. I'd watch out for him. He's a sleeper right now. Lost levels, it's last. I expect him to make up quite a bit of ground on the lost levels. Alright, Darbian in, I believe this is the second longest airship of the game to World 4. You can't make a sandwich though, because some of the platforming in this is a pain.
I think Oglib has said it's technically longer, but it's certainly much more interesting. Darbian riding that screw lift a little bit.
Alright, so Lack also, will he get the hammer suit?
I doubt it.
Nope. No hammer love in this race. I kind of feel sad about that.
I mean, I would not really expect most people to go for that.
Big John with the star kill. Very nice. Like I said, though, this airship, it's long and the platforming stinks. The only other stage I can think of that's auto-scrolling where the platforming's worse than this is coming up, and it's Bowser's Air Force. But at least the auto-scrolling's faster, which in my opinion makes it a little easier and a little less pressure in case somebody dies on there. But we all remember Bowser's Air Force growing up. That is one of the hardest stages to do casually by a mile in this game. Maybe next to 7-4, probably one of the most difficult stages in this game.
Yeah, the airship's scrolling speed actually makes it a little trickier to get around all the wrench-throwing moles in that level. But certainly, it does go fast.
Here's another earthquake-causing Koopa. This is Ludwig, and there goes Ludwig. Very nice fight, Darbian. Now moving on into World Auto-Scroller. I swear the reason why World 8 has so many auto-scrollers is because they ran out of ideas. I mean, why else would you have an entire world full of auto-scrollers? It drives speedrunners crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It's thematic. It goes with all the other warships in the game. In that case, it actually kind of makes it look a little bit like the tanks are coming at you slowly, but it's annoying, but it's part of what makes the levels challenging.
I prefer my SMB3 stages without auto-scrollers.
Well, then it's not really SMB3 anymore.
So here we go, the army stage. Lack is in an airship. Big John is hanging out in World 6 right now. Grabs the Jugum Cloud, which he's going to need. And Big John did grab the Mushroom House. The only one of the three to grab the Mushroom House. Gets the Hammer Brothers suit love, finally.
I'm pretty sure I saw Lack go in there.
Is that where the Tanuki came from? Did he grab the wrong chest?
No, the Tanuki came from World 5.
Okay.
Big John going the low road in 6 Fort 2.
I like it.
Doesn't
Oof.
trust that P meter before taking off the third time. Wisely goes the top route.
No, I wouldn't either. There's a certain visual cue that you use in that fortress, and if you don't meet it the first time, you don't go for that third one. So props to Big John for acknowledging that visual cue and just doing the first fly.
So really, Big John in the not-so-auto-scrolling stage right now. Does immediately take a hit, though. Doesn't matter because a P-Wing gets used immediately in the next stage, like you've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
How did he hit that block?
No love for the big H. I feel so sad about all this. No H love in this game.
No H jumps. Honestly, I did see if Big John jumped the small H way back in the beginning, but...
Alright, well, that's even better then, if that's the case.
Alright, chat has already actually started asking, thank you, BR Man, how many hands are we going to get?
I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say 2 for Darbian, 1 for Lack. I'm going to say Big John's going to get no hands.
It might end up being 3-2-1. That first hand and I seem to have, you know, some affinity for each other. Usually if I'm watching, that first hand likes to go crazy.
Five total, distributed amongst the 3 runners. So again, I believe, do you remember what the exact odds of getting 3 hands and 0 hands? I want to say it's 1 in 16. It's some really stupid low odd of getting 0 and 3 hands.
It's 1 in 8 because each individual hand is 50-50 and they don't affect each other. So
it's 1 in 8. Oh, that's
yeah.
not good.
1 in 8 for each side. Getting 2 or 3 hands has pretty high odds. Because that has the other 75% of probability.
Here we go. Most exciting part of World 8 right here, the hands bridge. I don't trust it now that it's 1 in 8. I could have sworn it was 1 in 16, but that's really bad if it's 1 in 8. As Darbian gets sucked in by the first hand.
The cab hand.
The cab hand. This one's not bad if you have fire, though.
Yeah. The Hammer Brother hand might actually be the hardest hand. But as long as you know how to deal with them all, it's not that bad. And fire just makes it easier.
Oh, the second hand grabs him. Oh my goodness.
Hands are too grabby today.
You know what? Forget odds. Let's just call it Murphy's Law. Whatever's going to be the worst case scenario is going to happen. Take math and throw it out the window at that point. Alright, 2 hands. No, wasn't wrong there.
Alright, Darb escapes. Still has to clear the airship, though, because if he gets sent back, he has to traverse the third hand again.
Big John gonna hold on to this leaf. This is my favorite strategy to use on Lemmy here to ensure the 7-1 clip attempts. Going to take 1 hit, 2 hits, lose the tail, and use that as the 3rd hit. Okay. Very nice, Big John. Nice fight against Lemmy.
Clipping 7-1 just because of the jump mechanics we mentioned earlier where you slow down a little bit with a tail. That's why you generally don't want to have a tail when you go in there. It is still possible to clip with the tail. It's just considered a more difficult feat. So Darbian is through the Air Force.
Alright, Big John, 7-1 clip going on. Let's see what happens.
First try?
I'd like to see it.
It's gonna happen?
Oh.
Not gonna happen.
This is so nerve-wracking to do in a race. I really dislike doing this clip in a race.
Oh, Lack is done with the Navy. Darb is done with 8-1. So it's time for your Lack hands guesses. They are due. First hand.
Ugh. Is it just gonna be one hand though?
We'll have to wait and see.
Come on, clip please. Big John's had a lot of great attempts on this. The game's just being a bully now. Come on, Big John.
I'm just not a fan of the 7-1 clip on SNES.
Any reason why?
Yeah, I just get it less often. There we go.
There you go. Very nice, Big John. That takes a lot of courage to just be able to keep doing that. Not all the while you're thinking, should have I entered the stage? Big John sticks with it. Very nice persistence.
I think that had to have been Lack's only hand because I'm looking back and he's on the Air Force level already. Darbian, meanwhile, is in 8's Fortress. Big John's playing cards. Looks like he's trying to intentionally get out of here quickly. Interesting that he got the Fire Flower, though.
It is certainly an interesting strat.
He's just going to P-wing the level. That's
Oh,
one
I
way
do
to
that. Yep.
So, a pair of fire kills. Darbian notably does not have access to any more Fire Flowers the rest of the run. Does not have a Hammer Brothers suit in inventory, so this is the power-up he needs to kill Bowser with. Unless he's going to let Lack Attack catch all the way up to him there. Maybe not all the way up to him, but certainly save a lot of time against him.
Yeah, fire kill is going to be critical here. Oh, and Darbian gets the bounce off the cannonball that allows him to just kind of chill on the top of the screen for a little while.
He otherwise does not appear to yet be using the world-famous patented Oglib's Super Tank Strat TM of holding right.
I love that strategy.
This is one of the few auto-scrollers in existence where the safest place to be is actually the right edge of the screen. And just to make that a little more clear, the forward edge of the screen. Not that I think there are many auto-scrollers out there that go left.
Alright, Lack through A2 almost. Let's see how this final jump goes at the end against the angry sun, and it's good. That's a really difficult jump to do, especially with the sun lurking. Alright, fire for the Boom Boom kill. It is all up to Bowser's Castle. Can Darbian get the fire kill, or is Lack going to catch up a bit as a result of that? Big John's gonna make up time on both of these runners if he can get his hammer suit through the castle, because it's
Yo,
the quickest
Darby
kill.
with the clip.
Yo. I don't even do that clip on this version. Dang, Darb. You're a beast.
Lack was not able to get through to Boom Boom's door in one cycle. Big John doing the 7-6 clip now? After all those attempts at 7-1?
Dang.
I guess he has to save that P-Wing that he used on 7-2.
This is a tough clip, but again, very doable. Just takes some patience. There you go! Wow, Big John taking way less attempts at the harder clip. Well done. Well done.
Darby needs to get these fireballs into Bowser's head. Finally gets it in there. So it's going to be an auto-scroller and Bowser's Castle ahead of Lack Attack going into the Lost Levels.
The Lost Levels?
And all of World 8 ahead of Big John. And chat was talking a little while ago, you know, Darbian's not too bad at Lost Levels either. It's just more a matter of comfort level where we're suspecting Lost Levels will be Big John's most comfortable game, his chance to kind of try and come back. Darbian, of course, no slouch at any of these games, and of course, as we're saying that, he jumps into a Piranha Plant in 1-1. Or is that the demo screen?
That's what I was wondering, but no. That is just a mistake.
Oh. The nice thing about Lost Levels on All-Stars compared to the original, you can continue from any stage, unlike the other 3 games where if you continue, you go back to the beginning of the world. So 1-up's not nearly as big a concern in this game. They are nice for checkpoints. But yeah, speaking of 7-9 clips, actually, Sky, check this out.
Oh my goodness, Big John.
Big John's been crushing the 7-9 clips.
I'm impressed.
Right up until we all started paying attention down there.
Don't jinx it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sorry, Big John. I have to call it like I see it. Lack Attack wearing a hammer suit in Bowser's Castle. So he might be able to save some time against Bowser.
There you go. Cav looked away. It's good.
Yeah, apparently that's how it works. I should just cover up the bottom half of my screen right now. Anything that happens to Big John, you're responsible for. I
will totally... Hey, I've believed in Big John. Nothing bad's been happening when I've been saying that.
Yeah, alright. So I'm just going to keep staring at Darbian's screen, trying to burn some holes through it. Nice super jump, though.
And hammer suit killed for Lack. He'll pick up a little bit of time there.
Nice.
I still can't believe that if you had a choice between Mario and Luigi, you would pick Mario. I love Luigi in this game.
Sometimes it just comes down to, like you were talking about earlier, different physics in different games. While the physics certainly are different from Mario 1, even with Mario, it's closer. And you get to a point where you just kind of learn the strats that way. And so you just have to go with what you're comfortable with. That does become problematic at times. I'm looking at you. I forget if it's 5-4 or 6-4. But if you know the strats, you know the strats.
Lack with the patented star strats in 1-1 of Lost Levels. Also, GG to Lack for finishing Mario 3 on that hammer kill.
So he is right behind Darb still. Big John working on Ludwig.
Yep, another one of those long airships, although after Mario 3 is done, I'm sure Big John will be ready to say goodbye to auto-scrollers. That's one thing I always liked about the Mario 1 games and Lost Levels is there's no auto-scrollers. Like, ugh. Not a fan. Not a fan. Alright, so Darbian has about a world's lead worth on Lack, give or take a few seconds.
Looking a little too much at chat, we've got reports that Lack Attack just got a PB in Mario. Was it Mario 3?
Mario 3, it looks like. Yeah, congrats, Jim.
Nice.
Big John plugging and chugging just while they're done with Ludwig's. He'll get through World 8, no problem. And I'm still calling it. I'll be bold enough to say he's going to get 1 or none hands. Hopefully none. Hopefully none. Vegas says 1 if I'm being optimistic, but I'll say none.
If he got no hands, that would help him out. Though each hand is worth only about 30 seconds. He could use all the time he can get right now. Darbian dodging these cheeps. My goodness.
It's just a little under a world that Darb has the lead in. Lack is still doing pretty well, though. Lost levels so far. And fire kill, yes.
Just like Mario 1, one of those fire kills. Save the animations. Darb with the clip. Cosmic wants you to stick with your prediction of 0. Darbian crashing into Bowser a little too fast. Not enough fireballs. Lost levels, though, and I think, Sky, you've said this with me a few times. It's a game you should learn how to play small. It's really hard to keep fire through these levels.
Yeah, Lost Levels, at least by my experience, I only run any percent D4 with Luigi, but playing it small is the way to go. In that way, you're not trying to get tied up in power-ups. It is so hard to keep these power-ups in Lost Levels and SMB1, and part of the reason is, if you noticed in Super Mario Bros. 3, let's say you have a tail or a fire flower, if you get hit, you get demoted to just Big Mario, and then you get demoted to Small Mario if you get hit again. In SMB1 and Lost Levels, all bets are off. You get hit once, you lose all your power-ups. It's kind of lame, but that's the breaks for the SMB1 and SMB2J games.
And SMB3J.
Oh yeah, you're right. That is one of the key differences between J and US. Dang.
For the Famicom version, of course, on the All-Stars, they made Mario 3 work like it does in the US version. That's why you actually see a lot of the Japanese community for Mario 3 play on All-Stars. Lack through 2-2, keeping that world difference between them. I think we're working on whatever technical difficulties have befallen Big John. Looks like Big John's working on it.
He's back.
It takes one tank to fix some tech problems. Lack? Don't scare me.
Lack's been scaring all of us this entire time. Are you kidding me? If you want to be nervous and fidgety, I mean, Lack will get through it, but it'll make you get nervous watching it.
Big John, no.
Alright, so Big John back. He's progressing through the Bowser's Navy right now, and Hand's coming up, so you guys will definitely want to stay tuned for that to see what happens to Big John there.
Black is having an adventure, ducking and weaving his way through 2-4. Does eventually take the hit, but Bowser giving him the friendly pattern. Bowser jumps up and towards you. You can generally get underneath him.
Darbian approaching the first puzzle castle of Lost Levels 3-4. Not really too much of a pattern in this one. Alright, so Lack getting the good Hammer Brother patterns on 3-1 here.
Darb making use of the clip mechanics in this game to be Fire Mario and get through the bottom section for the maze.
Alright, and fire kill. Nice.
Fire kill.
Big John past Bowser's Navy. It is time for hands. Call your shots, everyone. Alright, here comes them hands. Nope. Alright, so that's one hand. This is the best case scenario if this is Big John's only hand, because this is a very short hand stage. So if he can make it past the other one, that's the second best scenario you can have versus getting no hand. So let's hope for that third hand doesn't grab Big John. Alright, second best scenario. Very nice.
That little delay before going in there. All right. So the trick here with the P-Wing is there's some weird screen wrapping mechanics. You don't want to stay in the middle here or you'll get crushed, I guess, by a screen wrapped ship, whatever you want to call it. If you use a P-Wing on this level, the best thing for you to do is just mash the jump button as hard as you can, and you'll just get on top of everything. You will survive the stage. That does at least explain why he did not use the P-Wing in 7-6.
Well, again, in a race, I can certainly understand why he wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, just with it being an auto-scroller, you're really not losing any time using a P-Wing here. Outside of the other potential uses of the P-Wing like 7-6.
So again, to reiterate about the lost levels, normally this only goes to 8-4. We are going to D4 for this race. So once 8-4 is done, the race is not over yet. We're still going from A to D in this game. And I believe World 9 is also in this. World 9 is a bonus world. Not very challenging. But if you beat the game Warpless in All-Stars, it takes you immediately to World 9. It's more or less just filler, but it's still cool to see. So Big John here, not even giving 8-1 a chance. He is doing pretty well in it so far. 8-1 is one of the hardest levels in all of SMB3. Excuse me. We are past SMB1. And let's see if we can get a bullet bill jump here. No bullet bill jump. Oh my gosh. And a music box jump. That is swag. That is 8-1 swag right there. Very nice, Big John. Dang.
He is through.
Darby no
did. Ooh, Darbian crashed into Bowser once again, not getting all the fireballs off in time. Black attack jumping right into a spiny egg, having to restart 4-1. Fortunately, it was a quick death, so not that big a deal. Still time he probably wants to have back right now, though. Black does need help to catch up the rest of the way, and Darbian, as much as we love him, not very helpful when you need him to slow down in a race.
Have you been focusing on his screen cab?
Not as much as I probably should, because he just got the super jump in 5-1.
Very nice. Super jump mechanics are very difficult to pull off in Lost levels, and it's very easy to even just be a pixel off and take a death against that Koopa. So the fact that Darbian went for that with Mario and did it in a race where there's a lot of pressure on him, wow. Very nice, Darbian. Big John in the fortress right now, final fortress of SMB3. Let's see if he gets door skip here. And that just means he is able to enter the final door on the same P-switch cycle. Not easy to do.
Darb has his fire back.
Can he get it? Yes!
Black scaring me with that end of 4-2 off the Paracoopa.
Big John just going all out in World 8 of SMB3. Such a nice World 8. Black going through 4-3, which is easy as Luigi, but very difficult as Mario. You have to get some pretty tight jumps on 4-3 to do the speedrunning strats here, which Black is doing right now very well, might I add.
He's going the bottom path. That jump's not trivial. Granted, if you play this game enough, you know, everything becomes trivial after a while. Ooh. I mean, when you watch Darbian weave through these levels, you know, that's when you realize he really has played this game too much.
4-4 coming up here for Lack. This fireball at the end of this. I mean, if you get the bad RNG, you can salvage it, but it's very difficult to. Let's see. And he gets pretty good RNG, so.
Darbian actually got the bad RNG earlier and just didn't even care. Just charged right through the low fireball.
It's so hard to do that, though. It's so hard to charge through the low fireball. Okay.
Nice.
World 6 coming up for Darbian, Lack in 5-1, and Big John almost done with SMB3. I believe Big John is approaching Bowser's Castle. We'll see if he gets that hammer kill off so we can start to watch him do lost levels. And Big John with the clip right away. Oh my goodness. What a clip.
Why didn't you get the clip? Everybody else is doing it.
Not a fan of that clip in that
Darbian, why? He just lost fire, but it was on like... It was a jump he shouldn't have lost it on, and I'm sure he would agree with that. The piranha plants at the end of 6-1 just getting in the way. So Lack grabbing the hidden mushroom. Alright, Big John fighting Bowser. If you can call that a fight.
Nah.
Bowser's already down.
It was great.
So GG on Mario 3.
GG, Big John.
Oh, Darb trying to squeeze past that Cheep Cheep. Not able to do it. Checkpoint's right there, though, so... I actually had no idea where the checkpoint was on this level, so... Whether or not Darbian knew it, he certainly has the big enough lead to go for that.
Big John picking the only correct decision in this game. That is Luigi. Look at those jumps that Luigi has. It's magnificent to watch Luigi's route on this game.
I mean, that just makes the Mario route all the more challenging.
Why would you want
to? The fact that Darb and Lack can pull it off is just that much more skillful.
Why would you want to do that in a race, though? I would want to take all the Luigi shortcuts, which there are quite a few in this game.
Go with the strats that you're better with.
Mm-hmm.
Darb is going to go for that 6-3 mushroom.
So meanwhile, 6-4 coming up here for Darby and the other puzzle castle, unless you count 8-4 and D4, but they're not really too much of a puzzle.
5-4, getting in Lack's way just a little bit there. Not able to make one of the early jumps. So that'll cost him a little more time. Darb. Oh my goodness. Proves I need to watch more of his runs. Going underneath just far enough to get the game to ding that he went the right way before not going the right way at all.
That's
makes that 6-4 jump.
Oof.
That's one of the hardest jumps to make with Mario.
Black attack, meanwhile, chasing after Mushroom. Still in 6-1, though. Not too far away. Not too far away at all. But again, as we get through some of these levels, there are some shortcuts that Luigi can take that Mario cannot, and his route is just amazing to watch. Look at that, right over Bowser. Mario can't do that in this game, at least not easily. Nice 1-4 from Big John. All right, here comes the 7s here. If we pay attention, 7-2 on this side of Darbian's screen. This stage is a headache waiting to happen. The lack of 2s here are so well placed by the developers. It's really hard to pull off some of the jumps that you're about to see here.
These mid-height Lakitus in 7-2 are a bit of a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Really in every level that they're in. Darby not even stopping.
Oof.
Nice.
Not even phased by 7-2. Alright, 7-3 provides some means of skipping the stage. It may seem a tad like an auto-scroller, but the route actually has certain ways of skipping some of the springboards. Going against the game's intentions, but who cares? We want to go fast here.
Yeah, most of these springs you can handle 2 at a time, which does speed things up a little bit. You have to be careful though, some of those jumps get a little tight. You can see Darby landing on the left side of the platform.
Nice 7-3 for Darbian.
Knows exactly when that wind cuts out on him, so he has to keep holding right. Wind will push you along a little bit as you go along, and when it cuts out, it can kill a little bit of Mario's momentum.
Black playing dances with Cheep Cheeps here, but it's through 6-3. 6-4 is a very difficult castle. I can't wait to see it again with the Mario strat, seeing what Lack's about to do. 7-4 is tough, especially if you're trying to get through Bowser small, but as long as Darbian holds onto this Fire Flower, I think it'll be alright here.
Darbian's already going with the fast strats here.
Black taking the death at the beginning of 6-4. Probably a missed input more than likely. It's easy to do that again on this version. Right through Bowser like butter. Darbian's finished with this. Let's see how Big John's 2-4 goes over.
Ooh.
And
not quite
right
able to
under
make
Bowser.
that jump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 6-4 is not the nicest of levels. There's so many tight jumps. There's Potobos everywhere. Bowser's flames are everywhere towards the end of the level. It's just, this is a nasty level overall to do, casually or even through speedrunning.
Well, Darbian has gotten through 8-1. Whoa, Lack. All right.
Patience is a virtue sometimes in this game.
Just have to know when to hold them. So Darbian here coming up to the infamous 8-2 exit. It's no challenge once you really know where it is. But even the other day, what was it? This is Pie and Spike's race month, and the first race they did was actually this category just without the D4 part. And you saw lots of players not know how 8-2 works. You end up in the loop at the end of 8-2 trying to find that vine.
All of these players are quite experienced though, and nobody's gonna fall for that. Everybody knows what's going on with that.
Oh, easily. Every now and again you get someone out there though, it's the first time seeing the game. You gotta let them know what's going on. If you go to the end, you end up at a pipe that actually takes you back before that springboard.
Right.
3 here, also fun with these 2 invisible blocks to make this jump, to bring that balance down to make that jump.
7-2 for Lack, 8-4 for Darb coming up, and Big John at 3-3.
And Lack using 7-2 to get firepower for the last part.
Probably good. Ooh,
yeah.
You see that? Darbian with the 8-4 jump is Mario. No thank you.
Like I said, play your strats.
Oh.
Are you talking about the jump just to land on the pipe?
No, the 8-4 jump is Mario. Darbian got it. It looks so much tighter than the Luigi version. Even then, the Luigi one's easy to mess up. Alright, so Lack skipping his springs, and Big John in 3-4 in the first maze 4, but no problem for Big John. He knows where he's going. He's got this.
Oh, that jump from Darbian.
Let's see if Darbian does the clip here.
I don't think you can do it on SNES.
Oh, that's right. You can only do it on the Famicom, I'm pretty sure. Could have sworn you could, but I could be wrong. Alright, and fire kill, and Darbian is done with 8-4 to 11-48 with that version. I wonder if that's a PB form or not.
That almost has to be. That completes the speedrun.com leaderboard category for all 4 Warpless.
Mm-hmm.
That would put him solidly in second within 1 minute of Produx's 2:10:39.
Wow. Wow. Just no words for that.
Or at least within 2 minutes. How many seconds was it again?
I'd have to take a look, but it's not that far behind. Produx
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Darbian might want to run this back when we're done.
Oh, not back to back though. No.
Gotta go while the skills are fresh.
This is an exhausting marathon race, and even more so to do it in a marathon like this. The race is hard enough as it is, and then to do it in a marathon, oof, no thank you. I would not want to run this backward away. Lack entering 7-4. Big John showing off those Hammer Brother manipulation strats in 4-2, except did not buffer the second jump, unfortunately, but he's right near halfway. No big deal. I guess I shouldn't be looking either, huh?
I think you might actually even be a little behind, because you started saying that, and I saw him jump right into that hammer.
I'll refresh.
Darbian is in World 9. We said it earlier, it's a little bit of a meme world Nintendo created to just kind of make this nonsensical world out of, in its nonsensical world, underwater. Can't stomp on anything, like just like all the other NES games. Lack Attack, my god, that Bowser kill. But not much really going on in World 9.
Lack Attack making it through 7-4. That's no small feat. That Bowser is not very pleasant in 7-4, so props to Lack. Getting through it, no problem.
Pretty sure he went YOLO strats on Bowser as well, so I mean...
Dang.
7-4 is probably the worst Bowser in this game. with the fireballs on the ground, right in the middle of the arena, and Bowser throwing hammers over Mario's head. Big John able to make that jump small. Not Big John, Lack Attack able to make that jump small. I started saying that and realized, no, Big John's playing Luigi. That jump with Mario is actually really tricky.
So to reiterate again, this is a Warpless race. We did not do 100% on Super Mario Bros. 3, so this is not 100%. It would be if every player would have done every single level and every single Hammer Brother, etc. on SNB3, but this is not a 100%. Also, there are the Japanese symbols for arigato in Darbian's.
And with that, we're off to World A. So I think on the original Famicom disk system, getting to World A required beating the game like 10 times without powering off? Or something crazy like that?
Yeah, it took a lot to get the letter worlds in the Famicom version. That's really the one thing that the Super Nintendo version has going for it. You can easily enter the letter worlds. I want to say you had to beat the Famicom version a ridiculous amount of times before gaining access to the letter worlds. That's what the stars are for on the intro screen for that. Let's see what Big John's 5-1 wall jump looks like. I always love this trick. Really hard to execute, though. Very, very hard. And no.
He's going for the super jump at first.
Super jump's so hard to get. Here comes A2. This is, there's a really weird glitch that can happen on this stage where a hammer can shoot out of a bullet bill generator. Yeah, I had to deal with that one time. Not fun. Not fun.
I've never seen that happen.
Oh, I'll show you the video later. It's really sad. But nonetheless, Darbian doesn't take that hit. And Lack going into 8-4, ready to finish. Big John making up a lot of ground in 5-2 already. Not bad.
Not bad. I think he's gained about actually a world on both of them. Granted, he is still in the early games where it's a little easier to get through these levels. Big John no slouch at lost levels at all, though.
Nope.
So I don't think he's going to gain too much time on Darbian, if at all. Lack Attack might have to watch his back a little bit, but as long as he doesn't get caught in World D too much, he'll be okay. Darbian hopping over the flagpole. This is not any percent, sir.
Yeah, just past that flagpole is a pipe that actually takes one to World C. We use that in the any percent route, and then we abuse the menuing to go back to B4, which goes to D. So that's how you take care of the warps inside any percent D4. However, this is warpless, so we get to see all of the neat A castles. Darbian taking a bath in 8-4. Well, dang.
It's like he slipped off the edge.
It is easy to miss inputs again in this game, so it's understandable, especially considering the route. Ooh, a second bath.
One.
Oof.
Lack Attack. Darb can't wait. Going through the Arch of Hammers.
All right. GG for Lack on 8-4. That was a 217. I don't know if that's a PB for him. It could be.
217, I think, is his PB in terms of hours and minutes. His posted PB on speedrun.com I know is wrong of 221. But it at least beats that. So, of course, like we were saying earlier, these levels not normally part of the category, but we're playing them just because they're good levels. And this is SNES Superstars. So we'll see if that factors in to anything that happens here. That said, even though Big John is a veteran of going through to D4, I would think Darbian's lead is big enough. He should be okay.
But again, I think Big John has made a lot of room, or a lot of ground on especially Lack. I remember Lack being way ahead when Big John started, and he's made up a lot of room on him. Dang.
He's gaining ground on quite a bit of ground on Lack. Darbian, though, I'm pretty sure Darbian was in World 6 when Big John started World 1. Darbian, I still 5 worlds ahead, which I guess is where he was, how far he was ahead in the beginning anyway. So not too big a difference.
Those
Darby
hitboxes.
Giving up on hitting the cheap sheeps. Like I was saying back in Mario 1, sometimes it's better to focus on dodging the creatures underwater than on shooting them. Like, take your shots, but don't like lose your focus to landing a fireball hit, because otherwise you're more likely to get hit. Oh, that cheap sheep not getting out of the wall before Darbian found the pipe. Darby and Big John finishing their water levels. Lack attack, we didn't mention it too much when Darbian was in 9-3. You can just go on top of the ceiling and get past Bowser that way.
It's a free level. Then again, all of World 9 is relatively free.
Whoa. The letter worlds are worlds I've not seen in a very long time, so sometimes the path through these levels, like B3 for Darbian, it just looks fun. Ooh.
Oof. Tough jump there.
Trying to use Luigi's extra height to make it. I think if he hit the Paracoopa, he probably would have been fine, but he hit a Cheep Cheep before he could land on the Paracoopa. There's B4, which I'm sure on the original version was probably a little more of a challenge just because you didn't have any indicator of whether something was a maze or not. On the SNES version, you just kind of go through, you're waiting to hear some sort of cue that you're right or wrong, and it never comes, and you quickly realize it's not actually a maze at all, although one pipe is a warp.
Yep, that's the warp that's used in the any percent D4 route.
Mm-hmm.
Now here comes World C, which is very much like World 7, so you guys are going to be seeing a little bit of deja vu here. Similar stages, different enemies, pretty much.
Lack attack making his way through World A. Big John onto World 7. At least in terms of raw stages, Darbian gaining a little bit of time here. Big John, though, able to make that top jump, one of the Luigi shortcuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not having to deal with that whole set of piranhas is really nice using Luigi strats. Still taking the star, though, and there's no problem with that whatsoever. Select just getting done with A3. He doesn't jump the flag, which is good. He hasn't tried to warp on accident. Fun fact, that spring can actually despawn at the end of A3, and it's a pain in the butt. I mean, you can always just get out of the menu and rejoin the game, but that spring despawning can happen for all the Cheep Cheeps in the level.
So, C3, pretty much exactly 7-3, except that Lakitu's in the way now. No problems for Dar. Okay.
Nice.
Not sure what the RNG seeding for that fire stick at the very end is, but Darbian making that jump.
Here's Big John in 7-3, speaking of C3.
And C4 basically 7-4 with extra obstacles. Darbian again getting those jumps up there. Whether or not he has record, those jumps are still hard.
Alright, now here's the key difference between 7-4 and C4. Look at those boxes. You are strip of the hitbox advantage that you have by being in the corners in 7-4. So in a way, the game's giving you a hint. Hey, you could have crouched there in 7-4 if you wanted to, but it's not going to work here. Kind of clever how the designers decided to add that feature. Darb moving on to the final set of stages, the Ds, and D1 is horrible when it comes to RNG. So what's going to happen in D1 is there's going to be 2 Hammer Brothers at the beginning. There's a way to manipulate the RNG, but it's not easy. Let's see what happens. No manipulation here. I'm surprised. Maybe that's only a Luigi thing. And oh my goodness, how does he pull that off? All those hammers. Wow.
The left edge of the screen is free.
Oh. I still get amazed by that every time.
If you stand on that left edge of the screen, Hammer Brother hammers will just not hit you. You could always wait for the Hammer Brothers to charge you and just stomp them there.
Darbian just was a machine through that D1 every step of the way. That was amazing.
To be fair, Darbian's also been a machine from 1-1 through C4 as well. Maybe except for A1, A2. There were a couple of stumbles in there. But World D not slowing Darbian down. Ike Attack trying to get on top of this platform here. Might be thinking about giving it up and making this jump. All right, he's through. Almost. Maybe. It's at the end of the level and we're just waiting for things to reach the end.
Black with the fireworks in B3. Still not a terrible set of letter worlds so far for Lack either. He's had some pretty impressive stages and jumps and such in this one too. I still say SMB3 was a big part of this race, at least between Lack and Darbian.
SMB3 was kind of the decider. It is Lack's worst game of the 4. I would disagree that item management really had anything to do with it, but the game itself was easily what set Lack and Darbian apart.
Well, what I meant by item management is finding power-ups and hanging on to them and such, things like that. But yeah.
Darbian getting close to wrapping things up in D4. Is this actually the last screen of the game?
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. And he makes the jump.
Nice. Gets the bonk and ooh. All right, there we go. And that is it. Darbian finishes with a time of 2:26.59. Congratulations on winning the race, Darbian.
Cutting the 2:27.
There's the finish line.
Nice. Lack finishing the extra 9 worlds in this Warpless race faster than most people finish even without them in this category, in the normal Warpless category. Good job, Darbian. I think we have like subs from all 3 runners here in chat at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The Darbian subs making themselves known.
I think there should be a rematch, but they all have to use dance pads in Lost Levels.
Oh, jeez. No, just use dance pads for the entire thing. Big John is making his way through 8-4. It looks like he's going to at least get into World 9, probably through World 9 before Lack finishes. Although that's true, I'm not supposed to look at Big John's screen very much. Ooh, Lack having some C3 problems.
For anyone who missed it, Big John did do a dance pad run of Lost Levels through 8-4 any percent. It was something to see.
Oh my. Oh, Lack having C3, like we were saying, not the easiest thing to navigate. And I believe it's been said there's no checkpoints in the game at all once you hit World 8 even. Honestly, I'm just sitting here waiting for Sky to tell me I'm wrong.
Do I sound like that kind of person?
You could say it.
Nah, I think I'll be good. Oh, this race was so awesome to watch from start to finish. I'm happy we had a chance to do commentary for this one.
Indeed. Let's see. Lax finally through the end of C3. There's the flag.
We made it.
Big John's going to keep pushing. He's going to make this margin of victory for Lack in second as small as possible. I feel like we haven't seen Big Luigi in a little while.
Mm-mm.
Have we even seen Big Luigi?
I don't think we have.
Yeah. The man in green.
And no worries, if anybody here is planning on trying this category, you too can speedrun this on Speedruns Live. There's races going on, geez, every week to every other week now of this category. This category is starting to become very popular, and I encourage anybody to at least sit down and give this a try and see how long it would take them to speedrun this game. Or these 4 games, really. 1 cartridge.
Lack attack. Waiting out Bowser.
It works, though. Big John also taking the upper route here, 9-3. Coming up. And no.
There we go.
There it is. Okay. For some reason, I thought you jumped up earlier, but nope. There we go, though. No dealing with Bowser.
And Lack taking the death in D1. D1, not a level you want to take a death at, given the start of that level.
No. Especially as Mario.
Alright, mostly paying attention to Lack here, given that World 9 just wrapping up for Big John was a little trivial.
Yeah. World 9 again, it's more like, some people in chat have referred to it as the meme level. Not much going on there, to be honest, so it's understandable. But the game did say arigato one last time.
So hopefully for Lack's sake, he can keep up here. Not give anything to Big John moving forward. Big John, though, not, slowing down at all either.
He's been cruising through lost levels, no problem.
Got about a 3 world gap still, so Lack should be pretty safe with only 2 more stages left to go. I feel like especially once you start getting into D3, Lack, please.
I'm telling you, this whole entire race, Lack has insisted on making the audience nervous. That can't be good for anybody,
Big John, don't game over.
If he game's over, it's no big deal. I mean, he'll just start over from the same stage.
I know. It's the principle of the matter. Oh my goodness, Lack.
Lack, why you gotta make us feel nervous?
Big John also completing A2. Oh my goodness. Yeah, D3 is a lot harder than I remember, obviously.
I still think 8-3 from SMB1 is worse, but it's still D3 is a bad level.
8-3 is mostly a problem because of the last 4 Hammer Brothers and the fact that the Koopa shell does not work. It's not that bad if you trust yourself to stomp Hammer Brothers, but that's not exactly easy.
Oh, Lack taking the death there to the Hammer Brother as Big John enters A4.
Lack also on his last life. Like Sky said, it's not really going to matter. You just go back to the menu and continue from this same level. It's the principle of the matter. Big John about to show exactly how that continue system works.
If you game over, though, on any of these All-Star games, I would say Lost Levels is an okay one to pick. Lack using the left-hand side of the level yet again.
Oh, but then missing a jump into...
Aww.
Come on, man.
I think this is worthy of one of these.
Big John also taking another death.
And again, this isn't any indicator of how these players actually are in this game. This is an exhausting run. Yet again, you're going through 4 games. You're going through 4 different sequences of controls. So I can understand entirely how there would be nothing left in the tank by this point in the race. But these 2 runners are still persisting. There's Lack again with the left-hand sided kill. I still can't believe that's a thing.
Yeah, races like this, any multi-game race, whether it's the Mario series, a Donkey Kong Country relay, a Mega Man relay, these are all marathons. They're slugs. A couple of safe strats here and there usually aren't going to make the difference in the race just because the few seconds that you spend on them will be easily outweighed by the accidental deaths that get taken across the hours. Although Lack just wrapping things up.
Lack finishes with a 2:35.42. Is that a PB for Lack? Actually, I don't know. I don't know what he got on his last D4.
The D4 time, I believe, was about a 2:17. Well, the 8-4 time, I should say.
Yeah.
D4, that split looks kind of bright yellowy to us here on this screen. I'm assuming that's a gold color, which would indicate a PB.
Nice.
But we'll have to ask him later. I'm sure somebody here is in chat and will tell us whether or not that's actually true. Bink I'm Gone 99 reporting that is a 6-minute 27-second PB in the D4 all 4 Warpless category for Lack.
Nice. That's so good.
Mm-hmm. We
Big
still
John
got to
here.
bring Big John home.
He's not far behind. Like,
Not at all.
no, considering everything.
He's wrapping up B2 right now.
Big John's gonna show off those Luigi strats now for the remainder of the letter levels here. Chat wants to know what the next game is going to be following this. Is it Link to the Past? Or is it a Donkey Kong game?
I'm bringing up the schedule here, and I'm told that at 11 p.m. And so basically, after Big John finishes, we are going to see A Link to the Past.
Nice.
I'm going to leave it to Tech to tell me if I'm wrong. I think it's Joe D'Amelio running that.
Mm-hmm. And I believe there's going to be commentary by 2 friends of mine, RPG Godfather and Blump Bunny. So you guys will want to stay tuned for that. You guys are going to get some more quality games, quality commentary. It's going to be a good time. So be sure to roll deep with RPG Godfather and Blump Bunny coming up.
Nice. Big John in the relatively empty castle. Like we were saying early on, Big John's best game was last, so he's powering through this.
Also, too, while we're on a cutscene real quick, again, everyone should be giving shout-outs to everyone who's behind the scenes that's been working on this marathon. Everyone who's behind the scenes of speed gaming putting this on. It is really hard to put together a massive event like this. So be sure to thank everyone involved. Follow all the runners, follow Big John, Darby, and Lack Attack, and follow everyone who's also working hard behind the scenes, again, especially during those wee hours. Commentators also deserve love, everyone who's been doing commentary so far at this marathon. So please, please, please be sure to follow, support, etc.
Indeed.
All right, Big John, though, in the sea levels, which again are clones of the World 7 levels.
Mm-hmm. The C2 itself, I think 7-2 is one of the kind of pipe in the middle levels. C2 is a fish level. This is more reminiscent. What would it be? 6-3?
Mm-hmm.
This one's just going crazy. Fish in the beginning, bullets at the end. At least it's not long.
No. If they really wanted to be mean, 7-2 would be in there yet again. But since 7-2 was already replicated twice, why would they do that for C2?
Yeah.
All right, let's see how many springboards Big John can skip. There's one. Here comes Lakitu. And yes, for all those wondering, you can jump into that Lakitu and that Koopa and die, even though it's very quick. You know, I did that the other night. Not pleasant, but Big John is just crushing this level right now. No problems for him.
As much as you can be used to Mario's jump height, that's a level near the very end where it is a little nice to have that extra jump length with Luigi.
Mm-hmm. And for all those wondering, the jump height of Luigi does come with a setback. That setback being Luigi constantly operates on ice physics. So next time you see Luigi stop on a dime in front of a Hammer Brother, in front of Bowser, that is skill on the player to control Luigi's ice physics. Just something to think about. Here comes the game where it starts to say, nope, you can't cheat this section by hiding in the corners. Right here. Ugh. Nice. And come on, Big John. Again, patience is a virtue. Very nice, Big John. That C4 Bowser's a nightmare.
C4 and 7-4 Bowser are just the worst.
Now, hopefully we'll get to see the Hammer Brother manipulation here. I don't think Mario can do it, but I remember doing it with Luigi. He'll jump backwards into the thing. Yep, there you go. Instead, he goes for mushroom strats. The mushroom decides it wants to go its own way, and unfortunately, yeah, things happen at the beginning of D1. RNG is not nice. There you go.
Mushroom jump.
Woo! Well, that works.
You can coax a double jump out of this game by, I forget the exact method. It involves releasing and jumping and repressing the jump button during the power-up animation. Darby in his stream actually explains that as opposed to me saying, I kind of know how it works. But Big John utilizing it there to get on top of things.
And Big John here entering the chat saying he should go for the D2 jump. Let's see it, Big John.
Oh, you're right.
So,
what is the D2 jump?
You jump on the spring at the end, and you try to avoid jumping on that block in the middle. You just go right for the flagpole. It is a tough jump to pull off. But I believe.
Nice.
Oh, and he nails it. That is amazing. Again, plus 5 points for Big John.
All right, here's D3. If you go for that power up, you have to expect to be trolled once or twice.
Well, I go for that one all the time. You gotta get it. I mean, there's one point in the stage that's nearly impossible without it. Alright, good. Right here coming up is where I would usually spend it in this stage, yeah. I mean, that's gonna happen. Those Hammer Brothers are relentless. Right here, this is where RNG plays a factor. 2 more Hammer Brothers coming up. Nice patterns. Nice pattern. Whoa!
Had to
Hammer
run
Brother.
underneath bullets on 1 tile wide platforms. That was a little.
No Hammer Troll, but those Bullet Bills had other ideas for Big John.
All right, last level. Let's bring him home, chat.
Mm-hmm.
Just jumping right over that Hammer Brother.
Oh yeah, that Hammer Brother's so easy as Luigi. I love seeing the enthusiasm from chat for Big John. He deserves that just as much as any of the other runners here. He's been working his butt off at this game. This is hard stuff right here. Anyone who can finish this race below 3 definitely deserves it.
Oh, definitely. Whoop! Making that jump with Luigi.
Get this man an egg roll.
Get this man an egg roll.
Hey, Big
Whoa!
John! Oh no, what are you doing?
We're swag now.
Oh, what are you doing, Big John?
Big John,
Please?
please.
Don't make me nervous, Big John, please.
Sometimes
Dang it, Big John!
you swag too hard. All right.
Big John, what you doing?
This time for sure.
Oh, Big John.
It has been, I mean, obviously we have 3 big names here, but it has been said sometimes it's good to be the last person going in a race because you get to just do some fun things and everybody's watching.
Oh my goodness. Is he trying to use the dance pad? Is that what's going on right now? Is that why he was dancing around it?
The Bowser survival story.
Oh yeah.
Whoa! Yeah, that's not a dip.
I've seen that trick.
We've all. I think most people have seen that trick. That's like the obligatory commentators. Whoa!
Whoa!
Bowser's down.
There you go, Big John.
Official time 2:46:17. He was here a minute ago, though.
Aww. GG, everyone.
Despite my best efforts, Big John is finished. Spent the last 10 minutes watching him. RNG, the RNG jinx did not return, though.
Nope.
Good job, Big John.
GG.
True ending, Luigi saves the princess. Which runner did he bop, Big John? Big John, of course, in chat, letting us all know what's going on. Either way,
what a great race.
That was a great race.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sky Bills. Hey, Mr. Cab.
How's it going, Glory?
Hey.
Good. Checking in for my end of my host duties. Got hung up a little bit tonight, but made it on to at least introduce A Link to the Past and catch that All-Stars race, which was unbelievable. I can't imagine doing a race for 2.5 hours. It's intense enough doing the 10-minute race.
I think we both just got caught up in chat for 5 seconds and completely missed that. I'll admit, it is getting to be a little late on the East Coast, and I did not get nearly enough sleep last night, so I'm starting to run on empty myself.
I get that excuse all the time. Sorry, what did you just say? So I guess Are we doing interviews, or are we just going straight into the next game here? I don't know how the setup's going.
I don't know if Big John wants to come in here. I know Darbian's out there watching as well right now. Black's got to be somewhere nearby.
Checking the setup chat to see how we're looking.
And it looks like Joe D'Amelio is almost ready to go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this block too.
I think Big John's going to come over here and make me learn D4 sometime soon. It was a good run from everyone involved, though.
Yeah, all three of those guys are always very helpful. If you need any tips when you're watching their channel, ask them questions. They'll always give advice. All three of those guys, great players, great guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like I'm being told here that we are ready to go to the next game.
All right.
So coming up next, Joe D'Amelio. Well, thanks to everyone. Thanks Lack, Darbian, Big John, Sky Bills, Mr. Cab, everyone involved with the All-Stars race. That was awesome.
And I just got the runners' Twitch channels out there in chat again. GameJ06 for Big John, and by 06, of course, that's a 06. Darbian and Lack Attack 24. Don't forget to follow the runners, everybody. Without them, we won't have this marathon.
Yep, and make sure you follow your commentators too. They know what they're saying, and they know how to play, so check them out.
You don't have to lie to them. I only
try.
have to know what I'm saying. I do know Joe D'Amelio is good at this game, though, so stick around for Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, and thank you so much again to everyone involved with Speed Gaming.